so empty. Yeah. I want me somebody. This feeling that I'm feeling is not for me. I'm down and I'm lonely, hurting, and I know this wasn't meant to be. No, 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 no.
Scorn in the mud, yet they wanna be the first to reap the food as it bud. Oh, them fill the earth with peace and church and whorehouse. Love the rum bar, yet them hate the pure house. Them take the microchip and override go pour out. Less food, more shout and more mouth. Oh, Rasta tell them all the while. Stop war and go till the soil. Stop fighting for land and oil. Feed the coil, so many go defile. Slave master spit in them face, them take that with a smile. The banks of the Nile, so mild and so fertile. Acres more than a zillion mile. People acting vile, pick up cannibal style. One devour mama, papa and child. Oh, so
as you think you are, we're living in a small world. As bad as you think you are, we're living in a small world. As tough as you think you are, we're living in the one your name. Alright, that day will come when I stand and see all those wicked men. to stand and see all those wicked men in the fire getting burned. That day will come when they will try to escape and there will be nowhere to run. That day will come when I shall see they handing over bombs and bayonets and bullets and guns. That day will come when Emperor Selassie shall rise up from the rooms of the heavens and the sun.
Simplicity we used to survive, men who find it difficult because they ignorance and art. Simplicity we used to survive, do what you doing properly, that's the way through life. Simplicity we used to survive, men who find it difficult because they ignorance and art. Simplicity we used to survive. Children, open up your eyes. It's not the one bag of vanity in our ding, animosity in our ding, hypocrisy in our democracy. It's nothing, lava lava nothing, but stab another vampire evil's desire. It's just a meditation of my heart, pure and conscious thought. Be overstanding on the smart. Listen to the children speak the word and shine the light in the dark, yeah. Simplicity we used to survive, men who find it difficult because they ignorant and die. Simplicity we used to survive, do what to do in properly, that's the way through life. Simplicity I used to survive. Children, open up your eyes. Simplicity we used to survive. Learn how to think every day. Go back, we go mash them down and lose. All them are rinse and a brown. Stumbling blocks will have to move. Come, we go mash them down, can't lose. Deal with them rust because I prove them come approve me. I mash them down and lose. All them are rinse and a brown. Stumbling blocks will have to move. Come, we go mash them down and lose. Galanty come and mash them down and lose. Listen up, let the children I say to honor your mother and your father. Tell you again, I say to love you one another. Praise the Lassie I crown. Addis Ababa, 2nd of November 1930. Java. Hey, from the wicked, me dash the atta lava. Big up the ghetto girl, Kingstown and Balaclava. Mama used to give me dumpling, make out a cassava. Yo, you got the riches, you must share what you have. Farmer from the food that stop the people them from starving. Yo, Jalido cities rather than with his staff. Hard pagan, me know them must get cut off. Babylon, them red get shut off. Come what we go mash them down and lose. All them are rinse and a brown, stumbling block will have to move. Come we go mash them down and lose. Why not? Say approve, them approve. Wicked people, we are gonna mash them down and lose. Conquering lion, obstacles them come and move. Come we go mash them down and lose. Babylon, we mash them down. Burn. There's nothing in them system of which they create all around. They criticize their own hydrant, yeah, they would catch at a straw if they were to drown. They're not different from those scribes and Pharisees who come around. Dialogues in the corners, skylocks on the streets, flirts in the towns. They never do positive, they find a joy making people business around. Dance a yard before you dance abroad. The high priest tell you that I knew they from God and go get good ways. True grace, of the perch we pass a young gate. You have the good ways, it give you long days. Now take no bribe from not a screw face, go get good ways. Good ways, perch we pass a young gate. You have the some good ways, it give you long days. Them never know we woulda make it in a life. Pretty car, pretty house and pretty wife. Business a go on and everyone feel nice. Stepping out the ghetto, step into my paradise. Every day me say the ghetto you them want food. Happy wear clothes and them happy wear shoes. Some boy I me see approve, them approve. General come them happy move. Oh God bless, no man curse. Can't stop the flex because we too down to earth. Oh Rasta bless, no man curse. Can't stop the flex because we too down to earth. Even though me tell the wicked man them say don't try. Most I protect me and the fire bless I. Every day me have to praise the most high. Determined to make it so me not stop trying. Clean on so you get your blessing, yes. Love the ghetto you the step towards progressiveness. Crime and violence will leave you in a mess. Just be joyful and put away the stress because oh God bless, no man curse. Can't stop the flex because we too down to earth. Oh Rasta bless, no one curse. Can't stop the flex because we too down to earth. Even though know say you no bad mind. Got to make hay while you see the sunshine. Seek and find because Almighty got time. Rise, get to you, me say rise out of the just in the most high alone you must put your trust. The wicked man, the evil man, them a forget trust. You man, you got to make it. It is a movement, yes. No man curse. Can't stop the flex, Jamaica too down to earth. Who rest the yes. No one curse. Can't stop the flex, Africa too down to earth. Well, I so bless the man that reveal the truth, you know. And to this generation, those with them high and has never overstand. Oh now, oh children, Babylon build them cities and break their own laws. So long you've been amongst them, yet they didn't teach you that the fools get caught. So take us to the place where justice embedded in our heart. Truly ours, Ethiopia, he was born there. Emperor Selassie, they all fail to adore our judgment. We the people must be true to ourselves. Stoop to brutality, you perish and felt. How they want to hide, what make them don't want to help. The children going idly, having no strength. Our duty is to teach, so you make it frequent. You know beat up on your shoulders, there comes their judgment. Can I be going that way, killing yourself? What's the sense? Them young tell them get the teaching from the high sense. Oh children, Babylon build them cities and break their own laws. So long you've been amongst them, yet they didn't teach you that the fools get caught. So take us to the place where justice embedded in our heart. Truly yours in Ethiopia, he was born there. Emperor Selassie, they all fail to adore. Once more, firing guns becomes disobedience. They know not from whence they came, so they rebel against Babylon. Set is so building them bridges and fence, that them not support them so-called government. Them engineer they don't fall after righteous children. Remind them of slavery was not an accident. In return they kill my brothers and my parents. Repatriation bless out, give them all the strength. Africa, we they come from here the Haitians. Mother nature make us in them natural essence. Emperor Selassie, I am rule all events. We not care if them intelligence. Oh now, children, Babylon build them cities and break their own.
Getting ready to start. Come on out, be a part of the action. You're right on the hill here, New Democratic Party and your MP, Brother Fitzbramble. We're getting ready to roll, so we're going to be starting in a while.
And all I'm going through, as the memories rush down through my mind, it brought tears down to my pillows. Saying to myself, I must rise and go and testify. God's man was made to serve Jah, and together we live forever. Man was made to serve Jah, and together we live forever. Oh, Jah, Jah bless me, no wicked heart can test me, no matter what they try. Oh, no Jah manifest me, and my fans are regress me. Longer make the river run dry.
Hey, watch the places you walk in, mind the way you talk. Watch out for the vampire who will sneak up in the dark. Watch out for the big time thief who claim say that them smart. They're bringing the crack and the gun to come mash up the youth them heart. Later and red, when you all a look them on a tea bread. I hear an ex you dead. Whoa, later and red, when you all a stick them on a tea bread.
righteous youth man out there, and we ain't giving up nowhere. Here's our old barrage of righteous youth man in town, and we ain't going down. No, we never gonna stop nowhere. Yeah, nah, I need a Gideon boot and a khaki suit. Me stand out in a Babylon and represent the truth. Me nah go stay a road and see bad things and keep me mouth on mute. I got a strong reggae beat with a mic in a me hand to lead out the youths them out of destruction and tell the people they should know right from wrong. We got the strength, we got the power to help each other up the ladder. Don't be selfish to help your brothers today. We can make it if we try. Just remember to hold your head high. It doesn't make sense when we fuss and fight. I need a Gideon boot and a khaki suit to stand out in a Babylon and defend the truth. Me nah go sit aside and watch Babylon and keep me mouth on mute. I've got a strong reggae beat and a mic in a me hand to lead out the youths them out of destruction and let the people know right from wrong. Hey! Yaga 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 yo, yaga 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 yo, yaga yo. The country a wreck now. To the last time me check now. For them go read the budget, me want fly well like.
Oh yes, oh yes. Thank you very much, Mr. DJ. Let me say a pleasant good night to the people of Tongue Hill. And a pleasant good night to the people of East Kingstown. We are the New Democratic Party and we are here in your part of the constituency bringing another message from the New Democratic Party and your representative, Honorable Fitzgerald Bramble. I want to welcome all of you who made it possible to be out here tonight. To those who are sitting and listening right there in their porches, we welcome you and we thank you for tuning in to us. And all those who are on social media and following this program tonight, we want to say thank you and continue to follow the New Democratic Party. Tonight I will be your MC and my partner in crime will be none other than the hitman, Colin Graham. So both of us will be here carrying this meeting tonight for the Honorable Fitz Bramble and the New Democratic Party. Before we go any further, I'm going to invite you, wherever you are, to lift your heads up, close your eyes, as we seek the Lord in prayer. Eternal and most ever-loving Father, we give you praise and thanks for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for keeping us throughout the day and for granting us very fair weather for tonight so that we can convene this meeting. We thank you for bringing all of us here safely, and we pray that those who are on their way, you will bring them here safely. And at this time, we invite your presence to be with us so that you can take control of the meeting, protect us from harm and danger, and help that as the message go forth from the New Democratic Party, the people in this constituency and those who are listening elsewhere will attune to the message, accept the message, and go out when the time is right to vote for a change in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Continue to be with us, continue to keep us, and may your blessings continue to shower us. And we thank you in Jesus' wonderful and precious name. Amen and amen. At this time, we're going to have our national anthem. That's our national anthem day. And you can't afford to miss it, regardless to what we are going through. You know, we pray that God will keep us and bring us safely through everything. East Kingston, we're in the house. We're in your constituency. We know that you have been the rock of Gibraltar and the mainland, because from the time 1984 until now, 2025, nobody has been able to win this constituency than the New Democratic Party. So we know that you are the rock of Gibraltar right here on the mainland, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I have no doubt that when you go to the polls, whenever the big man get brave enough to call it, and the day comes, I know when you go to the polls that you're going to put your X next to the key and you will re-elect Honorable Fitz Bramble and the New Democratic Party to represent this constituency. But more so, you will elect the New Democratic Party to represent the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to be the government that will run the affairs of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I want you to speak to your friend, speak to your neighbor. If you have them in another constituency, call them, go by them, carry the message to them, and make sure that they're registered and they're ready to go. Because I tell you, this country is ready to roll and we're ready to rumble. All we are waiting for now is a date. And anytime the date is announced, I tell you, it will be lightning and thunder in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And when the congs are finished at the polls, trust me, the New Democratic Party will be rolling home. So at this time, I'm going to call my partner in crime, Brother Colin Graham, as he gave you some stuff.
Yeah! Play the tune. Why? We giving them fever tonight. Why? I see the crowd falling in. All right. Pull up. We have plenty time for that tonight. Well, boy, Fitz, I don't know what you was thinking, boy. You put me and Igel on the stage here tonight to chair this meeting. What ruction in East Kingston here tonight, boy. Wow. We have a powerful meeting here for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are in East Kingston, and Fitz going to get them fever. Ladies and gentlemen. And there's only one thing left to do. On election day, we go into the polls, and we vote in solidly again to keep the Kingstown seat of East Kingston in the hands of the New Democratic Party and in the capable hands of the Honorable Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here in Town Hill tonight. So we know the whole of Town Hill, we know Sion Hill, we know Kingstown. Everybody in the area is hearing our voice loud and clear. Folks, the New Democratic Party is here tonight to bring a strong and powerful message to you. Let me first, of course, before we go any further, to acknowledge the President and leader of the New Democratic Party, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday, is here with us tonight. The next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Come on and give him a big round of applause. And we can't wait. And for those of you following live on the stream, please, we encourage you to like it and share it. We want to see pure likes, and we don't want to see no hearts. We don't want to see no red hearts. We just want to see the likes tonight. We want to see, of course, the yellow emojis, all of that tonight, and share the live. Also here with us tonight, we have the chairman of the New Democratic Party, the Honorable Daniel Cummins, is here with us tonight. Also in the crowd, in East Kingston with us tonight, we also see Vice President of the New Democratic Party, Major Nigel Stevenson, is here with us. We see from the constituency of North Leeward, Dr. Kishore Shallow is here with us tonight. From East St. George, Laverne Gibson Velox is here with us tonight. We also have from Central Leeward, Conroy Huggins is here with us tonight. Who am I missing? All right. We know that we have Fitz here tonight, of course. That's coming later down. We, of course, have to acknowledge the executive members of the New Democratic Party here with us tonight. We have the General Secretary, Brenton Smith, is here with us. We have the Treasurer of the New Democratic Party, Luan Hathaway, is here with us tonight. We also have the Young Dems President, Esteban, is here with us tonight. And of course, those of you from the various constituencies, well-wishers of the New Democratic Party, and the people of East Kingstown are here with us tonight. Good night. And we will, of course, officially start this meeting, ladies and gentlemen. I want to bring to you now our first speaker here tonight. A fellow Kingstown seat for the New Democratic Party, another stronghold for the NDP in Kingstown. He's a strong voice both in the House of Parliament and outside the House of Parliament, and a champion for the people of his constituency of West Kingstown and for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He is here tonight to lend his support and endorse the candidate for the New Democratic Party in the upcoming general elections, and of course to claim victory for the Kingstown seats. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Chairman of the New Democratic Party, the Honorable Daniel Cummins.
Thank you very much. Step on the enemy. Trample the dragon. Sion Hill, East Kingston, NDP family. Good night. Let me say pleasant good night to our next Prime Minister, Tongue Hill, Sion Hill. Same thing fits. It's still a hill. Yes, let me say good night to our next Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday. My parliamentary colleagues, my colleague candidates, the executive of the New Democratic Party, all you good people assembled here tonight, and of course you who are listening and viewing, and in particular, the very many people in this community who are listening to us, and wherever you're hearing the voice of the New Democratic Party tonight, I want to assure you that we come to you with a message of hope. We come to you with a very purposeful message. And we want you to know that under the leadership of Dr. Friday, the tent of the New Democratic Party is large and comfortable and filled with love and hope for all of the people of this country. Tonight, I want to continue with something I started in Central Leeward recently that I call a chronicle of love. There are some people in this country who use the word love without even having the slightest understanding of the meaning of that word. And I'm borrowing from a sermon delivered by Pastor Laborde, who opined that in his opinion, in his mind, the word love is too often misused and abused. Tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about real love. I want to remind you that we in the New Democratic Party, over the last almost 25 years, have endured the harshest times. We have witnessed the destruction of our country. We have seen the increase in crime. We have seen the escalating cost of living and the reductions in salaries and continued increase in the level of unemployment in our country. Right here in East Kingstown, I want to remind you that it is the New Democratic Party led by Arnhem Eustace, who, having gone through the length and breadth of this constituency, saw the plight of so many families in trying to get their children out to school every September. And so he came up with the very noble concept of introducing a book loan scheme so that your children could be supplied with the textbooks needed. That scheme was so well designed that your children, having used those textbooks, would be able to pass them on to the next class. My friends, this year, we in West Kingstown put on a series of programs specifically to raise funds to help parents getting their children out to school. And Thursday last, I spent the greater part of that day in my office meeting with nearly 200 parents, representing over 500 children. And I tell you something, the common chord with all the parents is the desperation of even having paid the $50 for the book loan scheme. Sometimes there are no books at all. Sometimes one or two. And I want to tell you that that is an absolute lack of love on the part of the criminals in government in this country. They don't understand what it is for a parent to look a child in the face and say, I can't provide you with the books. I can't provide you with a meal. I have to choose which one of you I could send to school this week. I want to tell you tonight that I know for a fact that under the Prime Ministership of Dr. Godwin Friday, the book loan scheme will be reinvigorated, that your children will get the books required, and your children's education will be our prime focus. And you can believe that, my friends, because we understand the significance of that book loan scheme. I want to tell you that it's not just the book loan scheme that is underfunded and in this case not funded at all. Because if you go back and see, you will determine that for several years, the government has not put a red cent into the book loan scheme. An important part of your children's development. Tonight, I want to tell you that in the area of health, an area that Dr. Friday has asked me to shadow as Arnhem Eustace has done previously, I want to tell you, it's not just that you can't get medicine in the hospital. It's not just that Milton Cato is more like a solid waste dump than a hospital. Because if you go to that institution on the ground floor, and if you walk all around the corridors, everywhere you turn, you will find old refrigerators, old bed, old TVs, old fridge. Some of them have been sitting there for more than 7 years. Rats are running through those pieces of rubbish. And this is happening just outside of the wards, with louvers allowing all the dust to come from the garbage right where people are sleeping and staying on their beds. I want to tell you, a government that loves you will never allow a hospital to be a solid waste dump. No wonder when you look up in the ceiling throughout the hospital, even where you go to take the operation in the operating theaters, the ceilings are packed with the greatest set of germs. My friends, a government that loves you will never allow for that to happen. But don't just think about that. Think about a component of our health care that is so often neglected. Mental health in this country is treated as scorn and not as a disease. The people who are housed in the mental health facility are treated like cattle. They're given medicine that has expired a long time ago, and in many instances, totally ill-suited. There is no attempt to rehabilitate the patients. Tonight, I want to tell you that an NDP administration will treat mental health illness with the level of attention and care that it deserves. We will help our people to understand that if you have someone with mental illness, that is not an excuse for you to shunt them off. Because it is under those times and circumstances that your family member need your strongest level of care and attention. And therefore, we in the New Democratic Party, in addition to all the shortcomings in health that we have to deal with, will make sure that there's a proper plan to deal with mental illness and not treat it as a stigma to push people aside. So tonight, when we in the New Democratic Party tell you that we love you and we care for you and we have been working on a plan for your development for many years, I want you to understand that that comes from the heart. I want you to understand we are not here tonight just because an election is around the corner. We have been preparing ourselves for very many years. And in every constituency, you have been seeing our candidates, living with you, visiting with you, listening to you. And tonight, I pledge to you that when we get into government, you will continue to see the New Democratic Party representatives coming into your communities, looking at your problems, solving your problems, listening to you, and working together. Remember, all of you who support this New Democratic Party, I want you to understand the importance of love for all of our people, especially those who hitherto supported this wicked regime. Help them to understand that under Dr. Friday's canopy, everyone is invited and everyone will be treated fairly. Bring them home. Bring them together. Let us go forward to develop this country and to rid us of all of the wickedness that passes for love in this regime. Tonight, I don't need to tell you that your support for the Honorable Fitz Bramble is imperative. You know how he has worked with you from the time he came back. Every single day. And you can imagine what it will be when he is not just your representative, but a minister in the government of Dr. Friday. Thank you very much, my friends. Good night, and may God bless us all.
We all in on this. Enough is enough. This is it.
Enough is enough.
People say they gone now. You want to hear it again?
Oh yeah,
Is enough. The
they're
people
gone
say
now. That's what the people say. Don't doubt it.
properly gone. What you done in darkness?
All over St. Vincent I go, that's the message I get in. They're gone now. They're gone now. People say they're ready, just ring the bell. I plan to send an old lady up by the man, because the last time he did something, he said the old lady tell him to move it. So I'm planning to send one of them up there to tell him to announce the date, because the people ready. They want to go to the polls. Well, last election, when the votes start to call in from a certain constituency, there are some of those folks in my village, all of us are good friends and things, they support the other side. But when the votes start to roll in, and they hear how a particular lady was doing, and the way she was ringing in the votes, they got so frightened. They say, watch, we almost got diarrhea. Well, that was in 2020, they almost got diarrhea. I wonder what's going to happen this time when the votes start to roll in and they understand that the one who they want to make the crown prince wouldn't have no crown to wear at all. I tell you, when the votes start to come in, well, this time they will get diarrhea plus, because they nearly get it the last time, but they will get it with some extra. But tonight, I want you to put your hands together and help me welcome to the microphone none other person than the person who's going to pass the licks on the crown prince tonight. Put your hands together for Sister Laverne Velox.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
When the roll is called out, I'll be standing taller to face the darkest and the hardest of time. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof, but if it's required, we'll be on the front line. You can call me by my name. I am ready to.
Good night, Kingstown Hill. Good night to East Kingstown. The other East has come to see you, and we have things to talk tonight. Now, to my leader, Dr. Godwin Friday, my esteemed leader, I like to use that word, my chairman, Daniel Cummins, other candidates of the New Democratic Party, members of the executive of the New Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Hazel Laverne Gibson Velox, and I am the New Democratic Party's representative for East St. George. But as soon as the bell is ring and that date is called and we go to the polls, that title is going to be changed. I will become the representative, the real representative of East St. George. Because East St. George does not have any representation right now. They have an absentee gentleman who hardly comes into the constituency and was scared with what he found when he went into certain areas a couple weeks ago. We're just coming off of another 16 days of work for people. They get it twice a year, 16 days. Actually, it's 16 days for the year. It's 8 days for vacation, school vacation, back to school, and 8 days for Christmas. So they get 16 days. I want to tell these people that the new Democratic Party has never done less than 100 years. So you got enough money to take care of your families a little better than you would get. You would also get a holiday pay because you did 100 days. What the new Democratic Party is offering to you is hope. Hope. But the other side still talking about tunnel. How about shifting the conversation to developing the tongues of St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that we can decentralize Kingstown? That would take care of the traffic problems, the parking problems, the long line problems at banks and other institutions. And it's time to stop making everything about Kingstown. We need to develop the other towns so that we can pay certain things there. You shouldn't have to come into Kingstown to get a birth certificate when you go in to register to vote. That is just ridiculous. Some towns don't even have copying machines, but they ask for the original plus a copy. The ULP obviously has tunnel vision, and that's why they spend what they have, they spend what they don't have, and when they don't have, they borrow what they cannot repay. Our country is in a sad state of affairs economically. That is why they systematically killed agriculture. The NDP will revive this industry so that we could take care of our food security, and also we would be able to have food for export and put money back into the pockets of our hard-working farmers. We want our farmers to stop being watchmen at schools. They need to go back to their lands and work it so that they can make their own money and buy what they need and not what they can afford on a watchman's salary. This government has put the fishing industry on autopilot and brought in rainforests to compete with our local fishermen. Our fishermen have families to take care of. They cannot compete with a multinational company like Rainforest. We have to put our fishermen in a better position, and that is why the NDP government is separating fisheries from agriculture so we could give that ministry the attention it deserves and make it a viable income-earning business. And when we talk of agriculture, I like to bake, huh? I like to bake. And one of the things I am known for is my banana bread. All of a sudden, I am paying $1 or more for 1 grain of banana. Like, really? No, we have to do better than that. This is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're not accepting that at all. Let's get our agriculture back on the front burner. Tourism sector has not realized even 1 iota of the potential that it has as a viable income earner to boost the economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That is why we have to vote out Wani and put in Dr. Shallow. He will develop North Leeward. And when we talk about the new economy, these are our 4 pillars that we are going to use to develop our country. The new economy will encompass things like the arts and sports, areas that were never, ever considered as money-making for our country. We are going to look at these very seriously and institute our schools and other organizations to take sports seriously and develop the potential of the young people. Our young people are very talented. And unless we build on their talents, they will not be able to get the scholarships that they need or the professions that they want to get into and help to build St. Vincent and the Grenadines by returning, or if they don't return when they have lucrative contracts outside, at least they would send money back home for their families and to help develop our country. Of course, we expect that when our people go away, they would always return. As the situation stands now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is suffering from a serious brain drain. All of our brightest minds are somewhere out there, not in St. Vincent, developing other countries. While we stagnated, we are stagnant. I tell you, the NDP has plans. When you hear people out there saying, what are the NDP's plans? The NDP has no plans. That's not true. They just don't listen. The word on the street is that this government has the civil service in a chokehold. They can't function. They can't execute their jobs as professionals. Everything is accompanied by a directive. Random people just show up at offices with letters of appointment. Nobody has any say in that. Senior civil servants cannot discipline subordinates because they are told that I am from the comrade. Service Commission board is handpicked. Public servants take the blame and cussing when people work and can't get their money. But it's not that the public servants are holding back the money. It's that the country ain't have no money. We're going back to Parliament next week for more. Public servants in this country are overworked, underpaid, and they no longer get a bonus. Well, I am telling them that the NDP will work hard to make sure that that bonus is reinstated and you will get something at Christmas to make your family have a good time. The authority of the civil servants have been usurped by politicians who don't even know how the government is supposed to work. Senior civil servants who are literally handpicked were recently on the receiving end of a tirade, not knowing that these are daddy's handpicked people you're talking about. When you don't get your way, you always find a way to blame other people. This country is St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not St. Vincent and the Gonzaleses. Have you ever seen the NDP in any form or fashion turn up at government functions decked out in yellow? We have to separate government from party. We have to separate. A government function is an official function of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the government. It is not a red fest. You don't turn up in your red clothes at every function like that. We are doing serious business in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You ever wonder why they made my opponent the Minister of Finance? Listen to them in Parliament. I sit there sometimes. Thanks to the Minister of Finance, we get money to do this. Thanks to the Minister of Finance, we get money to do that. Thanks to the Minister of Finance saying it's not his money. He not putting his hand in his pocket and giving them any money. This is the money of the treasury of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, East Kingstown. I want to say that your candidate, Fitzbramble, is the best possible candidate you can get for this constituency. And I'm assuring you that next election, his opponent will be on the losing end of that election for how many times? 4 times? Is it 4 times that Luke has run in this constituency? He'll be a 4-time loser. Fitz will increase his majority because he has been working assiduously for you and taking care of your needs and fighting. Every time you hear Fitz talk, he's fighting for something for East Kingstown. And this is something that y'all must appreciate about him. That is something that I appreciate about him, that he never relents on his drive to serve you and to make you better citizens and to be in a better position in this country. I proudly declare that I am in the majority of Vincentians who are seeking change in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We want a change of government. 25 years has gone already, and you have not realized your vision. You want more time to realize your vision. What vision? What else is there? I'm not going there tonight. But, I don't get it. You've been there for 25 years. What more? Why couldn't you have achieved your vision in 25 years? Listen, regardless to if you're in and out, you're getting a state funeral. So, I stand firmly with my leader, Dr. Godwin Friday, and my fellow candidates who are ready to serve St. Vincent and the Grenadines, serve the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Every square inch of our 32 islands and keys will be touched by the hands of the new Democratic Party, because we are not leaving any stone unturned in representing our people, all of our people. I'm going to leave you tonight by saying to the people of East St. George, you know my heart. And I just want to let you know that today I called the traffic branch of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force to apprise them of the situation in East St. George with the new road that is being treated like a racetrack. And with school open, the children need some kind of pedestrian crossings or something to help them to be safe. So East St. George, today, I did that, and that is some of the things that I do to represent you, to make sure that you understand that I am serious about representation in East St. George, and that I am going to be working my finger to the bone, and I will be present every day in that constituency, not just passing through. Elections are not just for politics is not just for the 3 months before elections. Politics is for every day. And while my opponent has just turned up, I have been there for almost 5 years, attending to the needs of East St. George and the people of East St. George who have come to know me on a very real level. On a very real level. That is why I so proudly take Dr. Friday into East St. George from time to time so he could get some of the love that I get. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great being here tonight. Thank you very much.
Are you ready? Let's take back the country.
Yeah!
We want our PM to be Friday.
Come on and give it up for Lavon Gibson Velox. That is my candidate, that is my representative in East St. George, and that is my vote come election day. And let me just take this opportunity to remind you that Wednesday coming, follow us to East St. George, where Laverne Gibson Velox will be holding a second village meeting in the constituency of East St. George in the community of Glen, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I see Central Kingstown rolling in. Central Kingstown is rolling in, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready?
We're looking good, we're looking good. All right. Folks, our next speaker tonight, he's normally, well, you just hardly see him on the platform. But not because you don't see him on the platform, doesn't mean that he plays a very vital and crucial role in these village meetings and by extension, the New Democratic Party. This is a hard-working individual who puts in a lot of the time behind the scenes and late in the night when many of us may be comfortable sleeping. He's the one who's tasked with running the machinery of the New Democratic Party. Hard-working, dedicated, but don't think for a second that when he come here on the platform tonight that he don't know how to open his mouth and speak, because he's been doing that time and time again in his various positions as advocate and somebody who's been speaking out against the government's wicked vaccine mandate and championing the cause for people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome I shouldn't say new, but of course new to the New Democratic Party 2025 campaign trail and village meetings. Please welcome one of the driving force behind the New Democratic Party. He is the General Secretary. Please welcome Mr. Brenton Smith.
Let them know that. Dreams like anybody else. Yeah, don't me tell you no say better days coming. Don't me tell you no say better days coming. Yeah. They jump on the paper chase to keep running. Yeah, we got the world rocking. Thank you very much. Fuji, President of the New Democratic Party, and next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday, Vice President with responsibility for internal affairs, Honorable Sinclair Major Leacock, Vice President responsible for external affairs, Honorable Nigel Stevenson, Chairman of our party, Honorable Daniel Cummins, the man of the hour, Honorable Fitzgerald Bramley, members of the executive, and I recognize our hard-working treasurer, Mrs. Luan Hathaway, members of the technical team, Brian Alexander, Mr. Simmons, other members, including Monty, our DJ Fuji, members and the candidate of the best ever assembly team in the New Democratic Party here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Executive and members of the Central Division of East Kingstown. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the New Democratic Party, fellow citizens, Tongue Hill, East Kingstown, good evening. Today I stand before you not just as Secretary General of our party to report to you that the engine of the New Democratic Party is well oiled and ready for the battle to save the people of this country from tyranny. But as a voice for the countless individuals who have dedicated their lives to serving our communities, our police officers, teachers, nurses, and public servants. For nearly 25 years, we have stood in opposition, but today I bring a message of hope and renewal. We have witnessed the struggles faced by those
who have been unjustly affected by the government vaccine mandates. Our brave police officers, our dedicated teachers, our compassionate nurses and doctors, and our committed public servants who have been sidelined and their livelihood affected. I also acknowledge young, brilliant, and professionals who were and continue to be persecuted under this wicked regime. But the NDP will fix it. And I can assure you, my brothers and sisters, better days are coming.
Better days are coming, change your ways. But this moment pass you by and remain the same. Better days are coming.
Almost 4 years ago, I lost my job as a policeman. Having served my organization and the wonderful people of this country and visitors alike for over 27 years. I lost my job because I decided not to take the vaccine. As a result, my dreams were shattered. I lost my medical and whole life insurance. And I had to turn one of my bedroom into an apartment in order to help take care of my families. Some of my colleagues lost their homes, cars, their families, and others couldn't eat properly and to make ends meet. We all suffered in more ways than you could ever imagine. My friends Kay and Chanel, two brave professional teachers, understand this fully. But today, I say to you, better days are coming. My party and a leader you can trust promise that all public servants, teachers, nurses, doctors, and police officers will return to work with full pay and compensations for the evil meted out from the vaccine mandate. As the Major will say on day one of an NDP government, don't wait. Return to work. My people, I wouldn't have joined this party if I didn't believe in the policies and the love exhibited to the people of this country. Looking on from outside, the new Democratic Party do not profit because I leave perfection to the Almighty. It's by far the better choice for leading this country at this time. Our standard of living. The cost of food, transportation is getting higher each day. Healthcare, especially for our elderly, is costly and shameful to say. Our utilities are outrageous. Gas for our vehicles and transportation in this country is ridiculous. I am quite certain that you yearn for a better standard of living, but this is not possible under this government. So what do we do? We have to get rid of them. Police officers, my former colleagues, I'm going to address you now. I want to address you, my former colleagues, directly. Our country has seen an increase in homicides, especially gun-related ones. Even with your best effort, the government continues to show little or no empathy. Your living and working conditions have been the worst in living memory. Right at Central Police Station, you had to use placards taken away from protesters to save you from the elements. Pigeons do their mess right on your beds. Roaches and rats occupying the same space as you at a special services unit. You had to put mattresses in the roof to prevent the rain from wetting you. Many outstanding police officers were all exploited. Outstations such as Rose Hall, Chateaubriand, Leyu, and Vermont had to share this space with bats, yet you still have to go out and fight crime and protect our people despite all these ills. How do you feel leaving your decent, comfortable home to spend so many hours or even days in such working conditions? You deserve better. This government care about you. Under an NDP government, all stations will be repaired or rebuilt. So better days are coming. My friends, my officers, there will be increases in salary and allowances so that you won't be denied at the bank or be told you have to get a partner in order to get a mortgage at the bank to start your dream home. We are the lowest paid in the Eastern Caribbean. Are we the worst? Persons will not have to act for 5 or even 10 years without pay. In fact, in discussion with our next Prime Minister, persons within the organization will not act for more than 6 months. And if they do, they must be paid. Unfair promotions will be a thing of the past, and the Police Service Commission will be allowed to do their work. My people, I say, better days are coming. To our hard men and women of the auxiliary police force, my leader has already made a public pledge to you at an address to the nation. He said that all your constables, traffic wardens, and tourist police will become pensioners so that you, our heroes, can retire with peace of mind and on to the years of your service. The rural constables will be employed with a proper structure of promotions and the necessary resources given to assist the farmers from predatory larceny in our rural communities. This undoubtedly will safeguard our agricultural resources. Oh, how I can't wait. My friends, I say to you, better days are coming.
Searching for a better way. Searching for a better day.
To our civil servants and teachers, there's a rumor going about by people in the government telling you that the NDP will fire you. Let me say this again. I was fired, and I know what it feels like for hardship that comes with it. The NDP believes in creating employment for all Vincentians. So I say to you, that foolishness they're talking will never happen under an NDP government. Don't believe the lies from desperate men and women who care nothing about you, but rather about themselves and their families. Dr. Friday said to me one time, we were driving along back street. He said, Brenton, I can't wait to become Prime Minister to increase salaries and pay back pay at the end of the year for our hard-working public servants, teachers, and police officers. As a past union man, It was the best thing coming to my ears. I too can't wait to see the smiles on the people's faces. I can't wait to see how civilized negotiations between the government and the unions will be. My people, I say to you, better days are coming. So, how are we going to pay for all this? Firstly, the CBI program will contribute significantly, but most importantly, developing the productive sectors such as agriculture, tourism, the blue and new economy. My people, I say, better days are certainly coming. To my friend and colleague, Fitz Bramble, who I've had the opportunity to sit at the highest level in our party with. Tongue East Kingston, you have worked with a candidate for the past 5 years or so, and you know him. I am pleased with the level of firmness and the way he expresses himself in defending the people in this constituency and the people of SVG. It tells me that you will have a strong voice in cabinet, and I'm just like you, extremely proud of a man with such strength. I urge you to continue to be the Rock of Gibraltar on the mainland, remembering what Mr. Eustace did for you while in opposition and what Fitz will do for you in government when you are registered and go to the polls and elect him once again. I urge you to be on the lookout for any illegal person who is trying to vote in this constituency. You have a track record of looking for that. Continue to do so. We know what happened in the past. Be vigilant and take guard to defend your democracy. As I close, let us all look to the future. Let us remember that our strength lies in our unity. Together, we will build a society that values and respects and the contribution of every individual. Together, we will rise from the shadows of opposition and into the light of progress. The time for change is now. Let us stand together, not just for ourselves, but for the generation to come. Together, we will create a brighter future for all. Thank you, and may God continue to bless us all.
Oh, yes. Now we ain't taking no more pig in the bag. Yes, that was our hard-working Secretary General, Brother Brenton Smith. Let me hear it another time for him. Yeah. I will take it easy on this thing tonight because it ain't look so big and it's unable. But since I know a certain person was elected to government, I never heard they have a town hall meeting in the constituency. But because everywhere they go and every poll they do, they see that Dr. Friday is the man who is taking over the country. They get frightened now. Their hand trembling. They can't ring the bell. Now they're gone with town hall meeting. They even gone with red line. I tell you, Lord have mercy. When the time run out and they really have to call the bell. I wonder where they're going to come with. Well, I heard the ship done come in with a lot of lumber and galvanized and whatever to give away. But it's your money, take it. But when you go to the polls, vote for the key and elect Dr. Friday and the New Democratic Party. You know, nature is a funny thing. It can be real nice and quiet at times, like the days we're having now. You see how they're very quiet, they're not windy, the sea looking dead flat as if you can walk on it. But I tell you, when nature ready, it could really turn up and rumble the place. So the next speaker that we're going to bring to you is a man from down in the south. They say he's quiet, and they call him nature. But when election time, and he start to rumble, he get real bad. Put your hands together and help me welcome to the microphone Vice President of the New Democratic Party, the Honorable Nigel Nature Stevenson.
Them can't stop me. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life I am blessed. When I wake up in the morning and I lay my head to rest. Every day of my life I am blessed.
Thank you. Thank you, Fuji. Every day. Not sometimes, not every other day. Every day of my life, I am blessed. And there isn't anything that anyone in the Unity Labour Party can do about it. Good night, good night. Thank you, Chairman Igel. I was saying when I see this little platform here, I know Igel can't pump us it tonight. I know you have to behave yourself. Can't jump on prance. But I want to take the opportunity to say a very pleasant good night to everyone who is here. Everyone who is here. You could have been anywhere tonight, but you chose to be here with us, and we appreciate it. Good night to my colleagues in the NDP, and especially the next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Godwin Friday. Yes, it is September. It is the 1st of September. But by November, St. Vincent and the Grenadines will usher you in as our Prime Minister. So get ready. Get ready for the task. And I know the task is not beyond you. It is not a task that will overwhelm you, because God has prepared you for such a time as this, to rescue St. Vincent and the Grenadines from the hands of tyranny, from the destructive force of the Unity Labour Party. Better days, somebody said earlier, better days are indeed coming to all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good night to my friend and brother. I always say to him, well, Fitz, you are one half of the Fitzgerald crew. So, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. So Fitz is a man, and I'm really proud, I'm really happy to be here in Tongue Hill to say to the people of Tongue Hill, you did well in 2020, let's do it again in 2025. You have been more than solid. You have been more than faithful to the New Democratic Party over the years. Because when the going got real rough, you stood up and you said, regardless of if we are going to be the only constituency in well, on the mainland for the NDP, we will stand up. And I want to thank you, Tongue Hill. I want to thank you, East Kingstown, for standing with the New Democratic Party. Your faithfulness will be rewarded. It will indeed be rewarded. And very soon, you will reap the benefit of your hard work. My friends, I come from the constituency of South Leeward. And I was having a little conversation over there on the sideline. And also when we were coming up, a lot of people refer to this season as silly season because people are going to find all sorts of reasons to do different things politically. But I hail from a constituency that Igal was telling you not so long ago, nature will always take its course. So it really matters not to me who the candidate they're going to present. The result is always going to be the same. The Nature Boy and the New Democratic Party will be victorious. The Unity Labour Party has all but given up on the constituency of South Leeward. I hear my relative mouth in the crowd. If Ralph come up to him. Well, those of you who are watching on the live, and you can't hear what she's saying down there, if Ralph comes South Leeward to run, he mash up too. But he already declared privately that he ain't really wasting his time with South Leeward because he knows that it is beyond him. But I thought he was getting old and approaching the point where he's beginning to forget things. But you see, when it comes to the constituency of South Leeward, he is very collective. In fact, they have given up, and the only thing that they're doing now is have a little red lime. Well, I see all kind of red thing, but I never see a red lime. And the red lime is very few. So they just had a red lime in an area called Kittels. That used to be the bastion of the Unity Labour Party. But guess what? If you could put up your hands in the air, one hand here and one hand there, how many fingers? 10. That's the grand total they had at their red lime. So you know for sure that whenever the election is called, the Nature Boy will bring home that seat for the New Democratic Party once more. But tonight, the fundamental question is to vote or not to vote. I said a while ago that I come from South Leeward, and what they have, they are very methodical with what they're doing, because I hear when you look down there, I was trying to look down further, but I can't see geese shed. But I hear it's loaded with all kind of materials. And it seems to me that that is their trump card, because they can't go to the people to present their report card. They cannot run the next general election on their record of achievement. So what they're doing is turning their attention to try to bribe people left, right, and center. And if you're all person, or if you're all dish, you don't stand a good chance to get materials, I can tell you from South Leeward. Because when an all person go, they'll tell you all person, you have to come back at such and such a time. Come back at the end of September. But a young person from the same family go and get all the materials. He didn't have to wait until September. So if you're all, you don't stand a chance with the Unity Labour Party. If you're young, they think they can give you some materials and change your mind to sway you to vote for them. That is why I'm asking the fundamental question tonight, to vote or not to vote. let me begin with the very young people of our country who are voting for the first time, and also those persons who are young. You voted before, you probably never ever voted, even though you attained the age of 18 long before the last election. Because I know a lot of young people are saying to themselves, we are not going to get involved in politics. I hear them from time to time, you know. But I want to say to you, if you stay at home and be a bystander, you're not getting involved in the democratic process that determines the men and women that run the affairs of this country. You're not getting involved in the process that determines which piece of the pie you get. You're not getting involved in determining if that pie is going to remain the same size or if it is going to grow larger over time. So if the pie gets bigger, then you will get a larger slice. Don't you want a larger slice of the pie of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Or are you going to leave it? Are you going to leave it to a certain set of people who are only concerned about themselves, their family, and a very small inner circle? So that if you want to stay at home, it means that those are the people who are going to determine your destiny. And what has been your destiny under the hands of the Unity Labour Party? Young people, unemployment has been the order of the day. Think about the many young people who have graduated from secondary schools. Those of you who have graduated from colleges, and I see that, you know, there's new entrances going into the college. But what happened to those who exited in the last couple of months? What happened to those who have come back from university and can't find jobs? Who determine whether or not you receive a job? It is the powers that be. It is the Unity Labour Party, and they are not concerned about the masses of our young people. So young people, I am urging you, I am encouraging you, do not sit out this election. You need to get involved in the political process. Again, this process will determine your own life. For those of you who say you don't have anything to do with politics or you don't want anything to do with politics, well, whether you like it or not, politics controls your life. Every single day, Fuji, politics controls your life. It determines who get the jobs. It determines who get what kind of job. It determines, my friends, who will work and can't make ends meet. But most importantly, it determines those persons who will never work and become millionaires. Do you want that status quo to continue? You want that to remain? You're catching hell. You're writing application day after day, month after month, year after year, and not a single affirmative response to say, yes, we accept your application, you can get this job. While you can't get a job, and your parents, who you should have been working and taken care of because they've made sacrifices to send you to school, you can't get that job to look after them. Your parents have to turn back and look after you as a young adult. How many of you want that to continue? You cannot allow that to continue, because as far and as long as the Unity Labour Party remains in office, that is going to be your plight. So I am encouraging you, do not sit out this election. You need to go to the polls and vote. Yes, politics may not be your thing. Coming up here and speak may not be your thing. Going on social media and make a post may not be your thing. Going on radio and make a call to explain your circumstances, how difficult they may be, might not be your thing. But guess what? Your vote is your voice. Young people, your vote is your voice. So if you don't want to come up here and speak, you can speak loudly by voting for the new Democratic Party on election day. So I'm encouraging you, East Kingstown. I am encouraging you, all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that whenever the election is called, if you want to have a better way of life, if you want to have a better quality of life, you have to vote for the candidate of the New Democratic Party. Now, I go at great pain sometimes, to understand. I want to address those spouses, not just those of you who just graduated and have a certain level of education to determine what is right and what is wrong politically. But I'm also talking to those spouses with the common sense and those spouses with the intellectual ability to determine where you want to see your country go. Some of these very people that I'm addressing here tonight have become so disillusioned with the Unity Labour Party. A lot of them supported them. And they're now saying that we are not going to vote in the next general election. But I'm saying to you, again, the fundamental question is to vote or not to vote. Will you rather sit out a general election where you can make your vote count? Would you rather sit it out and allow some people down there who don't care if Monday fall on a Sunday? There are so many people around the place like that. All that they are concerned about is what they can get today. And what they can get today, they will sacrifice, they will give up their vote, and they will sacrifice the life of our people for the next 5 years because they don't care. What they want is the instant gratification. So the question is, my friends, will you sit back out there, decide that you're not going to vote, and allow somebody who really doesn't care about the affairs of our country, who don't care about the issues which are affecting you? Will you sit back and allow those persons to determine your destiny in our blessed country? I appeal to you to get up, get out, encourage your folks to go out and vote for the New Democratic Party. Let us take our country back. Let us take our country from the Unity Labour Party. My friends, Brian, Good Friday? What did you say, Good Friday? Thank you. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to leave very, very shortly. But this opportunity that is going to come to you right now, well, in the next couple of months, will not come back for the next 5 years. It's not coming back to you for the next 5 years. So I am urging you to make a sober decision. Search yourself and see whether or not your vote can change the lives of our people for the better, or if you just simply don't care what happens. But one way or the other, we have to live in this country, and if good comes, we'll thank God for that. But if bad continues, then we all have to endure it. But the question is, for how much longer can we endure the pain of labor? How much longer can we endure it? So I am just appealing to you out there to think soberly. Remember, your vote is an investment into your future and your children's future. If you're a wise investor, you're going to invest where you know that you will get some returns on that investment. You have been losing year after year after year by investing in the Unity Labour Party. And they have been benefiting from your investment. Look at their lives. They don't have to be wondering where the next dollar is coming from. They don't have to be wondering how they're going to send their children to school, They don't have to be wondering how they're going to get the uniforms. They don't have to be wondering when Vin lecture roll up in the community if their house is going to be the next house to be disconnected. They don't have to worry about those things because their life is good. All things bright and beautiful. Why? Because you have invested in making their lives better. It is time that you make an investment into your own future by voting for the New Democratic Party. That is the only time that you will be receiving true dividends that you deserve. And finally, my friends, they can't beat the nature boy. But I want to address very briefly. I know Brenton spoke a little bit, he spoke just before me, and he did allude to, the vaccine mandate. Let me remind us that the government of the day went to the parliament and passed something that they call the Public Health Emergency Act. That is a bill, For an act, it is now law. Why did they do that? Because of the coronavirus. And the intention was not necessarily to curb the virus, The intention was to flex their muscle to say, if you don't do as I say, well, you're going home. That was it, To show who is man, who is the bigger boss. Well, guess what? Everything has come back to normal. Nobody here wearing masks except Brian. I don't know why Brian. I think you all better keep from Brian tonight. But everybody else is going about their business as usual. There is no longer a public health emergency. There's no longer a crisis. So why, after so many civil servants, public servants were fired, and you heard Brenton describe to you the suffering and the pain that he and other colleagues endured, why is the government not going back to the same parliament and repeal that law? Why is the law still on the books? It is there. It is there. You know why you call that? That's an in-case law. And if he was so bad and so wicked to send you home, to suffer, to lose your assets, don't care about your family, he is holding it there just in case he win again so that he can flex his muscle over you in the event that some smoke were to just raise up its head. So the fact that that law is still on the books means that this government has very bad intention for our people. We cannot trust them, and it is one sure way to make sure that that law goes off the books is to go to the polls and vote overwhelmingly for the New Democratic Party. Thank you very much, Tonghill. Thank you very much, East Kingstown. And God bless you.
Yep. Yes. East Kingstown, we nice tonight. All right. You know these fellas are the hard to want to come and tell people in this upcoming general elections that they can't talk, that they can't speak up, that they must not grumble in this upcoming general elections. You could imagine a ruling government telling the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and their supporters that all you must not speak up, all you must not grumble, all you must not complain. Can you imagine that in this country? Well, I am telling you tonight, all you speak up, all you grumble, all you complain, because we want better government in this country. And if they cannot give we better government, we go and vote them out. You see a voting finger? I want you to take your vote. You used to do a thing in school. Pampaluti, licks for you. So guess what? You see this election? We go into the polls where we vote in finger, and we beating them with every single vote. This election is licks for them at every single poll. Don't make nobody tell you that you can't speak up and criticize and demand that you have better government in this country. It is your right. If you wake up tomorrow morning and you feel to change your vote from the Unity Labour Party and vote for the NDP, that is your right. Don't make nobody tell you otherwise. But wait. But because certain people, certain young Vincentians, certain former voters or supporters of the Unity Labour Party feel that, hey, I had enough and it's time to change my vote, and I'm going to criticize what I see in my constituency where they're taking lumber, cement and galvanize and loading it up in the community center, and then all of a sudden you take 2 ink and material gone and they can't tell you where the material go, and they want to go up on social media and say, hey, this is not right in my country and we deserve better, and I go into the polls and vote. They want to vilify you and tell you that you're being unpatriotic and you're trying to make the country look bad. I say speak up and go to the polls and vote. So, the next speaker that I am going to bring, I am sure he's going to bring up a backup with him. I ain't saying who the backup is, but I'm going to bring him up because he is one of those young persons who've been taken to social media and speaking up and criticizing this government and demanding change and encouraging people, if you want to change your vote, change your vote. If you want to vote them out, vote them out. If you want to vote for change, vote for change. Welcome, Adrian Smart.
Good night, here's Kingstown. Come here tonight. Good night to all the folks in North Central Windward Lockdown. Good night. Let me tell you something. I know the good brother Fitzgerald Bramley for a long time. It was the election season 2020. And he was campaigning and he drove past the police station in Kingstown. And I was walking Sentry, and there was traffic jam. It was a Friday afternoon, and he stood there, and I said, let me get one of those manifestos you have in the car. And he looked at me with surprise. I said, let me get 2 power band too and a short. But he said, you don't have any short. He said, officer, you're brave. I said, let me tell you something. We're ready for change for a long, long period of time. You understand? We're ready for change in this country for a long, long period of time. And it's sad to say that some want us to be humble. But let me tell you something. You see, tonight, I'm going to be highlighting the harsh reality of what is happening in SVG. I'll begin with the taxes. It was about 2017, we had a salary increase of just a mere meager insult of 1%. And later on, a few years rolled past, and we had a volcanic eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And less than 3 weeks later, this man went right out and he rubbed the insult in the face. 2% customs duty. Let me ask you, where was the increase in the first place if you are giving us 2% in taxes via the customs duty? You have given us nothing for the civil servants. You have not delivered. You have been a successful failure for far too long. I will highlight to you something tonight. How many of you in East Kingstown and the other 14 constituencies, how many of you have sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, cousins? How many are leaving each week? Multiple flights. Where are they leaving to seek employment? They are leaving and going to Antigua. They are leaving and going to St. Kitts. But let me tell you something. In Antigua, the CBI program was implemented in 2013. And in St. Kitts, it was implemented in 1984. These doors are opening greener pastures for Vincentian young men and women, 18 plus and 35 and beyond. It is sad to say that many are living and occupying these countries, and at least 80% of them have no interest of returning. It is sad that our population is declining. And let me tell you a secret. When you see those census people, and they come to your doorstep and they visit, they are looking to find out how many people are living and how many people live in your houses. You know why? Because they know that we are declining in population. They know that. And let me give you some harsh reality. Our age of consent is 15. You have a madman who should be receiving pension and taking care of his grandchildren telling you the age of consent deserves to be 15. Go out and get pregnant. I'm a father. Many here are fathers too. Many here are parents. And that is an insult and a harsh reality to accept. That is the reality we are living in. Let me tell you this. The CBI program is delivering greener pastures. The state of our scale of economy cannot be balanced. Taxes increase more than jobs. It cannot balance when investments are refused. It cannot be balanced when we borrow more loans and we receive income that is less and mediocre. Let me tell you something. The poverty in this country is right there. Every day we're seeing it. From city to city in SVG and from village to village. But let me tell you something. We cannot tax this country out of poverty. And we cannot take loans. We cannot take loans as fake and false investments. Billions of dollars in debt. Where are the investments in our youths? Where are the investments in agriculture? Where are the investments in our fisheries? They are all dilapidated. They are all crumbling, nothing to show. Too long in that, we need to wake up. Let me address something clear tonight. For far too long, our youths are employed mediocrely. And we enjoy them to have $400 a month and $200 and $300 a week. And we settle for that. No, that is not an investment in the youths of the future. It cannot be. The agriculture minister of the said department, you know what he did? He went out and he distributed plantains to folks and school children. A few days later, the same man went out in an interview and he said, I'm going to journey to 2 European countries and I'm going to look for possible markets for distribution for plantains. Nothing materialized from it. It was weeks to months later, this man decided, look, I'm going to buy them with Vinci Fresh to send to Barbados. We don't want no one-time offer. We don't want entertainers as politicians. That is what they are posed as. When you have that, these men become one-hit wonders. We don't want one-hit wonders. They are looking out for themselves. They have markets in Barbados, they have markets in Grenada, in livestock and in agricultural crops. When you get in office, it is not to look out for your personal interests at heart and be selfish. You see these 2 men standing here, we establish, we have business. But let me tell you something. We have to deal with the poor class and the working class on a whole. That is the priority of every government. And they have failed to deliver in those departments, the poor and the working class. I've listened to a foolish man on social media who spoke, and he spoke that ULP is for delivering to the working class. And young man, let me tell you something, I bash you tonight. You could stand up and spray car red, but let me tell you something. I'm bashing you tonight. You're weak-minded because you're petty. You have no substance, you have no value. How dare you? And the saddest thing when it comes to poverty, as my mentor would often say, but I have the remix version to what my mentor would say. You see poverty? In St. Vincent, poverty is a very, very expensive grocery item to purchase. But it is sad to say that many want to go out and foolishly purchase it. Many want to go out and purchase it. Many want you to say, don't talk, don't say nothing. You're from Comrade constituency, but I'm telling you tonight, I have never voted for the ULP for the 3 times I have voted. And I have been victimized numerous times. And I will not stop speaking for the people who have no voice. You know what is happening? A lot of us, we're scared to talk because we feed them our fear. When you have fear, and they know that you fear them, they will stamp on you so. When they stamp on you, they know, yes, we have them. We have them in our hands, and we could crush them and hold on our hands and watch the ashes fall. But let me tell you something. What happens when a man gets so comfortable, he becomes incompetent for his country? Let me tell you the harsh reality. No man deserves to have his son tell you, "Come your days are numbered." But I say this to you tonight. When you go to the polling stations, take your voting fingers and point it back at them and tell them, this is your end of days, comrade. Your end is near. And on the other hand, you have a man who is close to retirement and way past, he's like expired milk in the back of the refrigerator. And he's telling you now, don't grumble. Don't grumble until after election. Well, I'm saying to you, this means if he don't want you to grumble, no. It means that he's insulting you and he's telling you, laugh now in your face and cry later. That is what he's saying to you. Do not laugh with him now and cry later. I'm telling you now, this is serious business. This is the last boarding train to reality. Vincentians, you need to wake up. And let me tell you now, stop this nonsense street talk. NDP not saying what the plans are. I listened to the NDP plans numerous times. Many of them, they have no plans. Right now, I listened to a man, and he was at Canary playing field, and he said to me, look, I'm a labor man, but guess what? Comrade A winning. I said, well, good, I hope you know that. It is a shame that many have sold their independency and adopted the Vincentian nightmare for false hope and promises. Many. If you look around in this country, it is crumbling. Billions in investment, show me the reflections of it. I guess it has been pocketed elsewhere. But let me tell you something. In the later on to come, in this week, and many here are unaware of it, I'm going to throw a grenade now. And when I throw the grenade, comrade, you're falling flat back. I'm telling you this now. You're going to come with the people with another project. You're going to come with a project, a sub-hotel called Beaches. It is a sub-hotel under Sandals. And when this comes, 85% of those employees will not be Vincentians. We will not be profiting. It will not be lucrative to our younger folks in this country. When it comes, it will profit the Cubans that he spoke about several weeks ago. He's plotting on you Vincentians. He's bringing Cubans in our tourism industry. There are students at the community college currently studying, and when they study, They are studying in tourism, they are studying agriculture, and they are studying in the fisheries department. So where are the jobs for Vincentians when you're employing foreigners? Where is the hope? Where is our future going? Where is our future and our hope going? There's no hope and no future under this current administration. And they don't want you to speak up. They want you to remain humble in this jungle. But no, we should be right in the faces. When they rub the insult, point a voting finger to them. Let me tell you that tonight. It is a sad state. Where would our Vincentian young people, after they leave the community college, where would they be employed? And I'm not lying to you. He will come and tell you about Beaches Hotel, which is a sub-branch to the Sandals. And the insult continues to be rubbed into our faces day after day after day. And I'm going to hand over here now to my good brother here, Rashjan. So East Kingston, do the right thing. And hold on. Hold on. I promise one thing, eh? And I'm in my word. And I know it's a tradition now that when we go meetings, we're supposed to hand over gifts. And I don't have any planting in this bag here. So if you come from South Central Windward, sorry, I don't have any plantings here. I have a special gift in the bag here for Luke Brown. Hold this for me.
So if you land a dog, him turn round bite you. And if you jump out a frying pan, I know you jump in a fire, yeah.
Yeah. So let me tell you now. East Kingstown, you have a man, Fitzgerald Bramblue, that's showing strength to strength. Showing it. He's showing you that you deserve better facilities in sports. Better facilities for the communal purposes. The community center is dilapidated. Now let me tell you something. Fitzgerald Bramblue is a warrior. A man who will stand up for the people in East Kingstown. Do you want a man who cries and holds upon his supporters? His supporters supposed to be holding upon him. How can you vote for a man that is crying? So, I tell you tonight, let me give Luke his gift. I know you're going to lose this rounds. You're going to need some tissue to wipe your eyes. And in case you decide that you're not going to cry as a big man when you lose, you can use this toilet paper and get creative. It's Kingston!
So if you mad a dog, him turn round bite you. And if you jump out a frying pan, I know you jump in a fire, yeah. I said you so if you mad a dog, him turn round bite you. Good night. Blessing. All the way. Well, you see, we have a very beautiful country here. And we employ the ULP for the last 25 years. That's a lot of years. I employ him because in life we do changes. You know what I'm saying? If you're not performing for taxpayers, we change it. Because a lot of people understand that when we hire these guys, they is not our bosses. They are our servants. They are here to serve us. And if you are not performing, sorry, you got to go. So, Mr. Comrade, the writing is on the wall. The time is up. You are expired. You could bawl, you could groan, you have to go. No apology. You have to go. I hear you train someone saying how I want too much. Who is you to set a standard for me and tell me what I deserve? Hello? Can you tell Stam that? You tell Light 2020, say how your wife's sick. She can go into operation. She can't walk. Just to get back in office. Now you're telling lies on me. If you tell lies on your wife, who is me? To get in office. Because you don't want to leave. I don't know why you want to die there. Go up a gas and dead in peace up the place. Stay with your grandparents, with them, take care of them up there. Leave our Prime Minister office in peace. You say you want 2 terms, you don't get 5.
you still want more. A little so, and you call somebody greedy. You don't get 5 terms, and you still call people greedy. And then you have some little called members, and so sorry for them, with some little low-income houses, and praising you for that. I grew up in an environment where agriculture was the boss. We walking down by Silky, Corey's, Vera, Brian, all that. We buy anything them cash. We ain't got to line up. We ain't got to line up and beg and borrow for our own things. We work for what we want. And I thought when we hire you, you say you're going to make so a better place. I never knew you was a chicker. But I forget you was a liar. And he's a criminal liar too. So I should have expect better. But I give you a chance. But because I know I hire you and you can fire you. But I don't know why the people take so long to get rid of you, man. I don't know why. It is so easy. You just have to go out there and mark an X. It's simple. It's not hard, my brothers and sisters. So don't sit back and say, oh, NDP ain't doing nothing. NDP can't do nothing right now. Mr. Friday have 1 X. Fitzbumble have 1 X. I have 1 X. You have 1 X. Use your 1 X and let me get rid of the man. The man is humbugging our progress. When I look at the man depreciating my country, make our brothers and sisters go to foreign, make farmers, sons, security guard, and watchman, and this man still let no one give up. I want to know what happened to my people. I want to know what happened to them. So especially the young get to use them. I'm talking to young get to use them. Because a lot of young people say they're not voting. This is your country. This is your future. You don't want to go to Tartola and Antigua to turn security guard and be second-class citizens who got a parent. You went to gonna pay over there, work here and build your own mansion. Like how them children could buy mansion, Miami and all over the place. You want your own here. You're born here. You know what I'm saying? You want to give us low-income houses with your disrespectful self. When we're not lame, we're very creative, we're hard-working, we're smart, but you trying to tell us with a really Lynch plan how we want too much. Is you alone want things? Hello, you alone want things? You're the family? This is not your daddy estate. This is not your father estate, mister. You are employed by the people, and I am hoping and praying that this election, we must beat you so bad. You must lose your seat and all. Your seat and all, you must lose that. I understand why you're saying now NDP week. You have done enough damage in this country that we should just go to the poll full speed and just, you hear result, Sabutu Caesar 2. You're not a poor relief person. Ralph Gonzalez 4. You're not for old person. You should not give back your deposit. None of you should give back your deposit. You all have done too much damage to my country, my brother. Too much damage. You all shouldn't give back no deposit. So we shouldn't find, we say, oh, election tight. Once my time election tight, I want to know, where you from? You not from St. Vincent? Road not good, crime rate ridiculous, agriculture dead, healthcare. I was going on the boat back last week, and a guy was complaining to me, right down in the hospital. 1 bathroom for 25 people. No soap to wash your hand. Cardboard box chucking up bed. And you still jumping up. We must grumble. We must grumble. Yes, this man needs some serious concern. But we are in Congress after election. Home will send you straight to Bagas. So please, do not pay. Young men, young women, go out and vote. The vote is important. Everyone come. You see, Carlos win by 1. 1 vote important. So every vote come. Please go out and let me get rid of these criminals. Have a good night. That's it.
Yes, it's Kingstown. Now we go to the numbers and make sure you vote for Fitzbramble. You understand? Make sure you do that. This election is there, and there to every future generation to come. Do not be bribed. Do not be foolish. Amen. Bless everybody.
I tell you, hear me hear it again for the two brothers. Yes. Well, you know, things now start to get hot, you know. Things now start to get hot because we're coming closer to the date for election, so things start to turn up. And right now, I know the whole of Vinci. When I see the amount of persons following on social media, I know the whole of Vinci turn up right now. And even those who are undecided, I know after those two young brothers spoke, I know a lot of people gonna make up their mind tonight. Watch it. It's time. Yeah. Time for them to go. Well, watch me. Today, the 4th of September. And Parliament must be dissolved by the November 5th. So it's only 2 more months left before Parliament throw them out. So if you're brave enough, let them call the election. But watch. I was gonna drop something tonight, but I'm gonna leave it for another time. I was going to drop something tonight, but I'm going to leave it for when the bell ring. If God spare life. So I ain't going to drop it tonight. But there is a voice, there is a name that causing people headache every night. And a show with a day in Byra, having their town hall meeting, all they can hear in the head is one name ringing all the time. And it's the man who is the little black boy who brought himself up from nothing, and now he has reached the top. He is now the president of West Indies cricket, and he is now going to be the one who will win the North Leeward seat and let go the blow that get rid of Wani. Welcome to the microphone to bring greetings from North Leeward,
Dr. Kishore
the
Shallow,
brother,
the next
Dr.
representative for
Kishore Shallow.
EA, Dr. Kishore Shallow, North Leeward, NDP, North Leeward, you give me something I need, yeah. You give me something I bleed, North Leeward, you give me something I crave for. I really need you too. I really want us feel great now, so let us have our way. Kishore is never gonna leave, cause he's so invested in you.
Thanks, Fuji. Thanks, brother. Good night. The truth is, right? I don't know I'm not on the flyers, so I just bring in remarks tonight. But I know for the rest of the week, that clip from Ariane and Ross John playing for the whole of the rest of the week. Let's give them another big up there, please. Yeah, that's real vibes. Let me recognize our president, esteemed leader, Dr. Friday, vice presidents, Major and Nature, and the rest of the team, chairman, and the entire team. Like I said, we're being very brief tonight, so forgive me. But as I got here earlier, I met a former schoolmate of mine, my friend, I won't call his name, and he actually told me that this is probably the second meeting held at Tongue Hill over the years, right? And what that said to me clearly is that Brother Fitz is a man of true representation, reaching every corner and every hill of his constituency. And this has certainly been the case from since he touched down from Canada years ago. And I tell you, immediately after the election, and I know Fitz well, we've been talking and strategizing and planning over the years. So I know his work intimately. And he has not stopped one day in representing the interests of the people of East Kingstown. And so it's for me really just to come here and show support and love to my brother Fitz, a fella who I deeply admire. In fact, I take great inspiration from his dedication and hard work to serving Vincentians. I mean, when you see a man going around daily, even when the man ain't in opposition, the man going wrong. Because we know he ain't in a competition. Right? But he's still, in the interest of the people, going out and ensure he understands the need and trying his very best, his utmost to meet them. And that is the brother that you have. That is the gentleman you have, the representative you have in Brother Fitz Bramble. Now, my takeaway for the night from my brethren from all the day is, and I want to leave on this note, is successful failure. I'm borrowing that. Successful failure. And what I take from that, and I want you all to understand this very well, because it couldn't have been said any better. Here is a government for 25 years, and what they have done consistently is fail. So they have succeeded in failing in sports. They have succeeded in failing agriculture. They have succeeded in failing with tourism, because even they have moved the needle a little bit. For the length of time they have been there, they have failed in that component as well, in that area as well, in that sector. Crime rate has gone up, so which means they have succeeded to fail in that area as well. Healthcare and the rest. So my brethren, they allow me to borrow that. Successful failure, and that is how we're going to describe this administration, the Unity Labour Party. And that is why whenever the election is called later this year, in a few weeks' time, Vincentians are going to go out in the numbers. And like the brother them say, it's landslide in every constituency across this country. And I tell you, for the ones who went to Byra the other night, if you watch it online, you would see what we're talking about. There's a serious movement even out there in North Central Windward. So we're bringing it home by a landslide. I'm pausing here for now, Fitz, forgive me, but I'm saving it for Sister P, Sister Velox meeting on Wednesday night. And I'll continue there. But Tongue Hill, East Kingstown, listen, continue supporting my brother. We love you. We have to support him. And we're going all the way to the polls this time with a convincing victory. Thank you. Good evening.
God, I am a prayer for my country.
Hey! Hey! Don't stick with me now, man. Fuji, don't stick with me. Don't stick with me. Hey! A little kaiso tonight. We're stopping there, stop you over there. I can't hear you.
Too long we living in bitterness and hate.
Oi!
Now the time is right for us to renew our faith. I'm sick and tired of all the confusion.
All right. We're moving along nicely tonight because we still have more speakers to come. East Kingstown. When I tell you we are solid within the New Democratic Party, I want you to know that when you hear us talking, when you hear us campaigning in every single constituency, it's because we, the New Democratic Party, and you as the supporters of the New Democratic Party have to understand and be confident that this general elections is going to be a major landslide victory in the favor of your party. And I say that convincingly because when you look at the caliber of the candidates that the New Democratic Party has fielded in this upcoming general elections, I want you to give it up for the next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for fielding the best NDP team to contest the 2025 general elections. You just heard tonight from two solid members of the New Democratic Party, which we call on the Leeward Corridor. You heard from Vice President Nigel Nature Stevenson, and you just heard, of course, from none other than Dr. Kishore Shallow from North Leeward. But I am happy to say that the NDP has another strong, bright, vibrant champion in the constituency of Central Leeward, who is here with us tonight, who I am confident will also bring home the victory. And we will see the whole of Leeward turning yellow and making its way into Kingstown for the biggest political rally and victory rally this country has ever seen. And we will bring in Leeward and we will bring in Wynwood. So please welcome to the platform tonight to endorse your candidate in East Kingstown. Please welcome my friend and of course your friend, the man who will do it well in Central Leeward, Conroy Huggins.
Fresh anointing. Not the old stuff, not the old stuff. Fresh anointing. Somebody say this is fresh. It's flowing my way. Right now it's a season of power. Let the weak say I am strong. And prosperity. Let the poor say I am rich.
Good night. Good night, East Kingstown. Good night, East Kingstown. Good night to the people of Tongue Hill. Pleasant good night to our esteemed President, the next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday, Presidents, Major and Nature, and all other colleagues, executive members and supporters. Tonight, I just want to have a brief, honest, open conversation with you. Just brief, but very honest. The 2025 elections, I said it in October last year. It is a serious election. And right now our nation is at the crossroads. And we cannot miss 2025. And we cannot allow 2025 to go backwards after 25 years. This election is an election of the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Over the last 25 years, we have seen high crimes, extreme poverty, indigent poor, everything negative you could attach it to St. Vincent. Rape and violence and molestation against our women went up. School dropouts, all of that went up. This election is a crucial, very crucial election. And it is so crucial that what is fundamental about this election? It's leadership. It's leadership. Leadership is the fundamental key to this election. Now, when Dr. Friday came in 2021 and offered himself to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, he was only about 41 years. The guy we have here now, who calling everybody grumpy old man, he came in at 54, 55. Now the man close to 80. He ain't one Lego. 80. He close to 80. He going up there, going up there. Now, when you look at the future, I just want you to just stay with me, just briefly. When you look at the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we're talking now 2025, we're talking 2030, 2035, 2040, going on to 2050. For the next 10 years of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, can we look at the present Prime Minister carrying us for another 10 years? No, I mean, let us be honest. Because I want us to have an open, honest conversation. Now, if you want to judge his standards, it simply means that our president and our leader has another 13 to 14 years, according to the present one age, in governance. But I know he's not interested in going all that way. He might consider a term or two. But we have a leader in the NDP who is what? Fit and ready to govern St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And a lot of the nonsense that is being peddled in social media and basically, you know, they are paying people to create misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda. That is what they are doing. But the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are better than that, and we are more educated than that. You see, they think that we are all stupid. So when he had his birthday flop on the 9th of August, because I hear people didn't show up, so it was a flop. Birthday selection flop. He presented himself as king. That is why the sons feel they are heirs apparent. They could talk to us as they please. They could talk to senior civil servants as they please. And they could talk to us as they please. NDP people are going to have to suffer. NDP people are going to have to die. One phone call and man Jack dead. You see how they talk to us? Count your days. That's how they talk to us. Because they feel entitled and empowered. But as my good friend Arian said a while ago, we all have one vote. And this is the time when all of us must use that voting finger. And for some of us, it's going to be a voting finger with vengeance. I kid you not. So I want to address that issue of leadership. Dr. Godwin Friday is ready to lead this country going into this election. And it is just a couple of weeks left, you know, because they can't go for much longer. So at the end of the day, whether it come, well, I know it can't come tomorrow, because even as we speak right now, the man is up in Byra Park Hill, say having town hall meeting. I hear what caused that now. Chieftain went up there and just a one village meeting in Byra. The place turned over. I hope they went up the next day, start to talk to people. Chieftain pulled them out. But Dr. Godwin Friday, for this 2025 election, has put together the best team ever for any political party in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This team is blended with experience and youth. We are the future. That's why I am on this platform. Because I came here and I am here to represent the unrepresented and the underrepresented. To be their voices and to be the agent of change for Generation Next. The team that we have here, pound for pound, one-on-one in each constituency, we are better than them by far. Compare the grumpy guy expired against Chieftain right now in 2025. I mean, just compare them. Who would you vote for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Who would you vote for North Central Windward to take you into the future? Would you hold on to a grumpy, expired, tired, soon to be retired guy, or sleepy, feeble? Would you hold on to that? Or will you take the youthful, energetic chieftain Neptune who will take you forward. Think about it. Think about it. And when you compare the candidates in each constituency, even when they have a younger candidate against our candidate measured by far. So for this 2025 election, the team that Dr. Friday and his executive, his secretariat has put together, it is a winning team. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I want to say this. My brethren that came on earlier said it. We all have one vote. I have one vote. Doc has one vote. All of us on the ground, we only have one vote. At the end of the day, once St. Vincent and the Grenadines comes out in its numbers, they cannot do no hanky-panky. And the normal things that we heard about, they would not be able to stop what is coming. I can't leave without touching the vaccine mandate because I am a victim of the vaccine mandate. A graduate teacher with over 15 years experience at the secondary level, taught at 4 different secondary schools, Union Island Secondary, St. Vincent Grammar School, Bishop's College, Kingstown, and West St. George Secondary. 15 years between all of them. When I was given my letter, I was on the job. I was in the classroom marking my register. Went to the principal's office, I was presented with the letter. The principal was embarrassed to give me the letter. Her deputy was next to her. They both apologized to me and said, Mr. Huggins, you do not deserve this. When I opened it, I read it in front of them. The thing was so nonsensical. I am at work, and the thing is saying I have abandoned my job and is therefore deemed to have resigned. That not stupidity? Nonsensical. So, since the end of 2021, I was without work. So early January I was without work. But don't think it ended there. I was able to get a contract with an international organization, the United Nations. Did a 2-year stint. At the end of my 2-year stint, my contract was ended. The organization wanted to rehire me. Do you know that these wicked people who had already kicked me out of the classroom decided they didn't want me to be rehired? Why? Because the people of Central, Leeward, Curtains, and Barreley, they were calling for me to come forward. At that time, there wasn't a decision. They decided, they might call you, and we're going to shut you down. That is why I call them economic assassins. The people of them, they're wicked. They're wicked. They're evil. And Vincentian, my brother, you said it right in the John. They do not deserve the votes that they say they have been getting. They do not deserve it. And I personally believe people, everybody have their own choice. But to support these people, it means that you are complicit with their evil and wickedness. I personally cannot understand how people could say that they are people of God and hang out with them wicked people there and serve them and defend them. I have colleagues here in the audience, teachers, police officers who were kicked out. We have colleagues who lost everything. There's a young man in Leyu right now who is living in the bush on that shed because he could no longer afford to pay his rent. He and his little son lives under a shack. No joke. No joke. Yes, I know that I have to wrap it up. No joke. No joke at all. The community, people in the community have to help out the father with the child to press his clothes because in the mountain he can't connect current. This is the kind of wickedness that this government has done to people. And I want to say to you, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they do not deserve not only another term, but to be voted for. They do not. I am calling on persons who they told not to grumble, not to complain. I am calling on those persons to boycott them at the polls. You need to boycott them. Imagine they're telling you, you don't need to grumble. You don't need to complain. If you have any problem, just keep your problem. We don't want to hear nothing. As if what? We are your subjects. I told you we're having an honest conversation. But I have to wrap it up now. Brother Fitz and the president and vice president still have to come. My brother Fitz, none of us are frightened for you. Because as Dr. Shallow said, you don't really have no competition. You're a sportsman, you're a ball man. You don't have no competition. My brethren that come and cry in 2020, this time you go ball. So, I don't really want to take up time on that. But just to say to you, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and all 15 constituencies, on election day, ensure that you vote for the key, because the key represents the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Younger ones who have not registered as yet, encourage the young ones to register and vote. Register and vote. One of the things that I've learned in Central Leeward is that the youths are very engaged in the political discussions. And they are attuned with what is happening. And generally, they're saying to me, Huggins, it's way past time for change. We are not seeing progress. As Aaron said, over $3 billion in debt. Can we see the evidence of that money in the country? Kingstown run down, the whole of town run down. I can't talk about Central Leeward tonight, but if I was to talk about Central Leeward, I could tell you for the whole night how they neglect Central Leeward. Yes, last point before I go. They give road workers work. And people were hoping by Friday they would have been able to cut a small thing to buy books to the children. I heard up to today, they still have the people them going back and forth like yo. They're telling them, collect this paper here, come back, collect this paper here, come back. And they just the people them go back and forth. We do not want that kind of ineptitude to continue in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. At the end of the day, we need to vote them out. Good night. God bless you.
Oh, yes. Let me hear it again for Brother Conroy Huggins. Yeah, you got to run them out of the governance of this country. They're wicked. And don't doubt it. They're wicked. But the night is getting on. So I can't say and do what I want to. So time coming, don't worry. Time coming. But the time is getting there. As I said earlier, East Kingstown is the Gibraltar of the mainland. And they've been voting NDP since 1984. And in 2025, they ain't going to let us down. The one who contests against our candidate last election, when the election done, he cried like a baby. But if you think baby just cry, this time around you can see how big man does cry. They say big man don't cry. But when our candidate in East Kingstown, the Honorable Fitzgerald Bramble, finished with the opponent this time, he ain't gonna cry. He gonna bawl like a cow because that will be the end of his political career. Put your hands together and welcome to the microphone the man for the hour, the brother, the representative for the area, and the next representative after the next general election, Brother Honorable Fitz Bramble.
Love of my country have me in tears. I'm begging you, Lord, to answer my prayers. Father, please, we need your intervention to bring us some healing in our land. The enemy is within the gates, destroying us daily. When will we see an end to this suffering and misery? Right now, losing at everything. And I want the country to win. I just want St. Vincent to win. Look around, losing at everything. And I want the country to win. I really want St. Vincent to win.
Thank you, Fuji. East Kingstown, good night. Tongue Hill, good night. Tongue Hill, good night. Now, I was caught in a little dilemma as to whether to really go in and talk about what I wanted to talk about or just say some pertinent things, because tonight, as Brother Kish said, this is a kind of a history in the making. As far as I've been informed, this is the second meeting held at this location in the history of politics in St. Vincent. I'm subject to correction. And as he quite rightly pointed out, that's because I want to make sure that no one is left out. Let me back up a little bit and recognize the presence and express my appreciation for the presence of our esteemed leader, president, and next prime minister of this country, Dr. Godwin Friday. I also want to express gratitude to our vice presidents, Nature and Major, to Chairman Cummins and fellow candidates, Conroy Huggins from Central Leeward, my brother Dr. Kishoy Shallow from North Leeward, Sister Lavon Velox from East St. George, the General Secretary of the party, Brother Brenton Smith, who I believe made his debut presentation on a platform tonight. So you see, East Kingstown doing a lot of first. We're creating a lot of history in many ways. And I also want to thank as well the brethren from in the north, on the windward side, Brother Arian Smart, they call him Spaceman, and Brother Ras John. When I met those guys out at Brother Chieftain's meeting in Byra, and I was chatting with them, and I said, why all they don't come and talk at East Kingstown? And them fellas say, what? It's like they couldn't wait for the invitation. And I really appreciate their presence and support here tonight. But most importantly, I want to recognize my predecessors, the gentlemen who represented this constituency before me. And I'm talking about Brother Eddie Griffith of blessed memory, Brother Carlyle Duggan, and our former leader and former Prime Minister, Brother Arnim Eustace. And not to forget also Brother Marcus De Freitas, who represented this constituency and who is here tonight. I'm not sure if he's still here. But these gentlemen not only represented this constituency with distinction and successfully, but their representation was an indication of the appreciation of this new Democratic Party to the people of East Kingstown, who have elected a new Democratic Party candidate to represent them for 40 consecutive years. And I am quite sure that that is unprecedented in the history of St. Vincent politics. 40 consecutive years. And I have to say,
that 17 out of those 40 years, when the New Democratic Party was in government, East Kingstown did well. The people of East Kingstown did well. And just to quickly remind you of some of the things that East Kingstown enjoyed when the New Democratic Party was in government. You see the cruise ship boat right down there? That was constructed by the New Democratic Party government. When the New Democratic Party was in government, we had traffic lights in this town where we did not have the type of traffic problems that we enjoy today. The traffic lights are no more. We had the Agro Lab in French's right down there. You hear we talking about the agriculture and food processing and value-added agriculture, where we're going to add value to our produce to make more money and make our economy more vibrant. That was started in East Kingstown, right there in French's, when the New Democratic Party was in government. Although it was a private entity, the New Democratic Party government created the environment and provided the support for our private business people. That is what we enjoyed as a nation and as a constituency when the New Democratic Party was in government. Over the last 25 years, East Kingstown in particular have endured suffering and have endured a level of underdevelopment and non-progress that is arguably unprecedented in this country. And you hear people say from time to time, boy, where East Kingstown do them, man? Why they punishing East Kingstown so? Why are they neglecting East Kingstown like that? And the evidence is there to support it. I ain't coming here and running off my mouth. The evidence is there to support it. Let me start with infrastructure. Much of East Kingstown is located in what we call a suburban area, not far from downtown Kingstown. So you know that there are certain requirements and certain amenities and certain things that, that East Kingstown must provide or must be the recipient of in order to support activities in downtown Kingstown. So East Kingstown has a pretty decent mix of commercial business entities and activities and residential entities and activities. It's a mix. Unlike some other constituencies where they're primarily residential and maybe rural. So infrastructure is very important, and I am not even going to go into the details of the different types of infrastructure, because the conditions of the roads in East Kingstown alone is enough testimony to verify the fact that the Unity Labour Party government over the last 25 years has neglected East Kingstown. Let me give you a quick example. I entered this parliament in 2020, almost 5 years ago to the day. And every time almost when I go into parliament, I bawling, begging the government to fix Dorsetshire Hill Road. Every year for 5 years. And all they do, every National Heroes Day when it comes around, they go and they patch up the road. Patch up the road. Look at the roads in East Kingstown. For the 5 years, the only road they fix is the road wrong there by Langwall coming from Cane Garden. And they just recently fixed the road down in Roseau. Down by Paula, going across by Crossroads. That is it. For a constituency that is a suburban constituency where your infrastructure is important and the proper maintenance of infrastructure is important, it is a crying shame. When you leave in on the windward side to come into downtown Kingstown, I can't think of any other way of getting into downtown Kingstown from the windward side
than passing through East Kingstown. You have to, any one of them road bringing you through East Kingstown. If you go on Dorset, if you go up Queen Drive and come on Dorset to Hill, that is East Kingstown. If you go down by Technical College and come up through Roseau, East Kingstown. If you come up, when you reach Pantap Sion Hill, you could go up Plumtree, come on Rockies through my village, East Kingstown. If you go on Sion Hill, London Road and come on Cane Garden, Langwall, East Kingstown. So how could you neglect the proper maintenance of such important infrastructure? It baffles me. And we could talk about so many other areas of neglect. But the last one I want to touch on in the interest of time is the issue of crime. We know, you don't have to go to university to know, that in any country, you're always going to have challenges with regards to crime. We know that. And no one government can completely eliminate crime. That is a fact. So don't mind the distractors who come and tell you, oh, NDP talking like if when them they get there, you go have no crime. Come on, let's lift the level of our discourse. We know better than that. The one observation that I want to remind you of, the one harsh and painful reality that this constituency experienced a little over 2 years ago in Little St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When you look at TV, CNN and BBC and so, just recently in Minnesota in the United States, we saw the very unfortunate and gruesome activity where a gunman went into a Catholic church where the Catholic school was having their back-to-school service and killed off some people. And we hear all the time about mass murders and mass shootings in different, mostly developed countries. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines about 2 years ago, the only mass shooting we ever had in this country, where 5 young men were gunned down, not too far from here, was in East Kingstown. In East Kingstown. And up to this day, as far as I know, nothing has been done to even pick up somebody to say, well, we have a suspect here or we have a suspect there. So the people of East Kingstown, we have been made to endure some very undesirable realities over the last 25 years. I'm not up here to bash no government or to bash anybody. I am up here to give you our realities as a constituency called East Kingstown. Not to talk about the other macro-national issues which affect us. The high debt that we enjoy, the high rate of unemployment. They tell you that the current rate of unemployment, every Monday morning they're giving you a different figure. But I can tell you that in East Kingstown, I did my own analysis and survey. I am an economist, I'm a social scientist, so I know a little bit about how to do those things. And sometimes you don't have to run about and brag and put everything on social media for people to know what you're doing. But I am telling you, based on my analysis, in East Kingstown, the rate of youth unemployment is higher than the average that they tell us. They say it's 4 out of 10 right now, about 40%. In East Kingstown, the rate of youth unemployment is close to 6 out of 10, close to 60%. And if you don't believe me, walk around anywhere in East Kingstown and the blocks. 9 o'clock in the morning, the block up Sion Hill full of young men. And it's not because they're worthless and they want not to do nothing. It's because they have been deprived of opportunities. And don't come and tell me no foolishness about, oh, when we're looking for people for work, we can't find people for work and this and that. Of course, you're going to find 1 or 2 delinquent ones. That happens everywhere. But when the reality of 6 persons, young persons in East Kingstown, I mean talking about guys who just this, so you know. I'm talking about young men. Many of them finish community college. We ain't talking about no joke, man. Young men with talent and skills and education and ambition. But this government has written them off. They have written them off, and all they do is mama guide them and give them a whole set of broken promises. I ain't gonna call nobody name because in my view, my objective is to explain to the people of East Kingstown why they should continue to support me and to support the New Democratic Party. Doc, I ain't gonna stay too long, Doc and Major, because I know you guys have to speak after me. But you would appreciate that I am home. And when I am home, I gotta set the table good. I can't give you soup and put knife and fork. I have to put soup with spoon. You understand? So I gotta put the thing in order. So bear with me a little bit. I won't be too long. But East Kingstown is a very hospitable constituency. So I can guarantee you that people ain't going home till the meeting done. Look, you know, this government seems to be focusing, and all of these things that I'm telling you about, all of these shortcomings of the Unity Labour Party, when you listen to them, you might want to conclude that is the NDP fault. All they do is blame the NDP for their inadequacies and their non-performance. NDP this, NDP that, NDP na do, NDP do. NDP is the opposition of this country. The people of this country gave you the job as the government, the ULP party. The people of this country gave you a job to do. And if you don't do your job, then we will tell you you're not doing your job. And if you don't buck up, then we're going to put you out of town, including out of East Kingstown. Look, a former prime minister in the Caribbean said this. Allow me to quote this. And he said, I don't know if it applied to him because he just recently lost the elections. I'm talking about former Prime Minister Keith Rowley. And this is what he said, and I quote, listen carefully. He said, anytime a government resorts to blaming the opposition for its failure to deliver on their mandate and their responsibilities to the people, it is a clear sign that they have accepted that they have outlived their usefulness. So the Unity Labour Party have already accepted that they have failed the country. They have outlived their usefulness. The Prime Minister is tired, expired, and about to be retired, and all they could do is blame the NDP. But I know the people of East Kingstown are very, very intelligent people. And the people of East Kingstown understand that the only way we can move forward is by continuing to support the New Democratic Party's candidate in East Kingstown and to support the New Democratic Party in moving forward. I want to finish up by saying this, or by quickly touching on a few things. My team and I, and let me just say this, and I hope my team members don't take this as a sleight of hand, but I want to also recognize the hard and diligent work of Team East Kingstown. We used to say Team Bramble, but we gone past that. Team East Kingstown. All of Team East Kingstown, the executive members, the strategists, the members on the core team, the technical people who does help we set up with public meetings, all the ladies and other supporters who help us when we have a beach splash. Without you, I wouldn't be here tonight. And I know sometimes people in the constituency, they get upset with me. Bramble, we not see you. Or I might have, said something to somebody and forgot what I said. Because there's a lot of people I deal with. And people take things personally. And rightfully so. A fella told me the other day, I was saying, boy, I don't know what else to do. I don't think there's any other candidate who gets around as much as that. Well, Major say he. So I go default to Major because every morning when I go in gym, I see Major walking and he don't build up a sweat. So I don't know Majors get the energy from. But on a serious note, I know I get around in this constituency. I have not sat down proverbially speaking, since I was elected in 2020. Of course, there's a lot of room for improvement. I know that. I know that. I don't need anybody to tell me that. But when you tell me that, I appreciate the comments nonetheless. I know there's a lot of room for improvement. And I know there are some things that I could do better. But the one thing I'll tell you, nothing that I do or say in East Kingstown is intended to harm or to hurt any of my constituents. So don't take it as such. If you don't see me, don't cuss and carry on and say, Bambi, me not see you. And when election time come, you look for come on. It's not an easy road, as Buju say. But I'm trying my best. If you're upset with me over something that I maybe said or something that I did or didn't do, don't go and cuss me behind me back and tell the neighbor, them they, come and talk to me. Everybody knows Fitzbramble and everybody know I am the most approachable person. I will listen to you. I may not always agree with you, but I will never disrespect you. And I will never devalue your ideas. So if you have an issue with me, please, for God's sake, come and talk to me. And I am also smart enough to know that everybody would not support me politically. I ain't stupid. But I will make sure that even though you didn't support me politically, I am the representative for everybody in this constituency. And anybody who knows me knows that. I don't discriminate. Because if everybody support me, I would be very worried. I will be very worried if everybody supports me. Of course, if when the election results come out, I win by, let me say, 7,300 votes and my opponent gets 0, I will be happy. But we know that ain't going to happen. So let's be for real. And on that note, I also want to encourage you. If somebody comes with a different mindset, they tell you, well, me can't support NDP, or they might be critical of certain issues with regards to NDP. Don't be hostile to them. And I'm not saying this just because I want to sound good. I'm serious. You heard my introductory song from Imad? Drop it in, they give me Fuji.
Love of my country have me in tears. I'm begging you, Lord, to answer my prayers. Father, please, we need your intervention to bring us some healing in our land. The enemy is within the gates, destroying us daily. When will we see an end to this suffering and misery? Right now, we're losing at everything. And I want the country to win. I just want St. Vincent to win.
Yeah, Fuji. I appreciate that. I just want my country to win. Listen, I left Canada 5 years ago and I came. Sometimes I just get emotional when I talk this. I came back to my country for one reason. Because I wanted to represent and contribute to my country's development at another level. At the highest level, the political level, parliament. Because I've been representing and supporting and developing my country since I was a young man. My people have always represented. When I was at the Beckwith Anglican High School, I represented my school in the National Public Speaking Competition and won it. First time ever in Beckwith. I represented Beckwith in football as we used to call it the Beckwith Island team. I represented this country in football at the junior and senior levels. I represented this country when they had the very first CARICOM secondary schools contest and won it when I was in grammar school doing A-levels. Lyndon Moss and Claire Keys were the other members of the team. I represented this country as a deputy ambassador in Washington, D.C. I represented this country when I served in the Organization of American States as their ambassador in Suriname. The OAS is an organization to which St. Vincent and the Grenadines belong. And I can go on and on. I'm not saying this to thump my chest. I'm saying this to say my only objective is to help my people. I'm not interested in anything else. Fame, I don't need that. I've had enough of that already throughout my life. You know? Money, you can't get money out of politics unless you're thief. I'm telling you, any decent, honest representative will tell you that this profession and this occupation and this vocation and this commitment does not reward you financially. If I tell you my salary, you will quake and tell me I'm lying to you as an elected parliamentarian, but I won't go into that. The point I want to make, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, people of East Kingstown, I have no interest in anything else but to represent you and to help you improve your standard of living. I don't care about anything else. So when you go and talk all kinds of things, but bramble this and bramble that, you're only wasting your time. Let me be positive. Because when you get angry at bramble, all you're doing is drinking poison and hoping bramble will die. That is what anger does to you. So let me deal with progress. Let me see how we could take East Kingstown forward. My team and I have developed a 40-point plan for developing East Kingstown. And the reason why we came up with 40, we could have come up with about 100. But the reason why we came up with 40 was in recognition of the fact that East Kingstown has voted a New Democratic Party candidate as their representative for the last 40 years. And I'm going to end off, I'm just going to touch on a couple, not very long. The first one, we're calling it HYPE. We're hyping up East Kingstown, HYPE, helping young people excel. And how are we going to do that? And a lot of these initiatives are time sensitive. So don't think we're going to do everything in the first year or the first term. They are time sensitive. This particular initiative, however, will be implemented within the first year of the first term of us being in office. And what it basically aims to do, this is building on the prime program that the government has established. And I always say, without water in my mouth, I think that prime program was one of their best initiatives that they attempted. But unfortunately, as Ariane said, it was a successful failure, the prime program. And we in the New Democratic Party will build and improve and successfully implement a similar program, which is where this HYPE idea comes from. We are going to allocate $1 million. Listen to me. This is no tongue-in-cheek. And as I said, don't expect it in the first year or in the first 6 months. They are time sensitive. So the strategy for implementation must be worked out in greater detail. But my team and I, we have sat down and studied and analyzed these initiatives, many of which come from you, the people, from me listening to people, people sending me text messages, voice notes. Bramble, I think this could work in East Kingstown. And we took everything. I continue to get ideas all the time. And don't stop the ideas from coming. The HYPE will allocate $1 million to start 50 businesses in East Kingstown. That's $20,000 per business. And we're not just going to get the money for go to New York to shop. We are going to make sure that that program, that HYPE program, works in conjunction with our National Development Bank that we are going to establish and with the Entrepreneurial Hub, where we will provide support and resources and technical guidance and what have you to the young business people who will benefit from that HYPE program. So when we talk about creating more and better paying jobs, we're not talking about the government, the NDP government coming and saying, well, come to the government, forget a job. Come up in the complex to the 4th floor and go in Dr. Friday's office, forget a job. Come on, we are not that stupid. We are not that pedestrian. We know and we understand what real economic growth means. We know and we understand what it means to create jobs, creating the environment for people to get more money in their pockets. We know what that means. So when people come and tell you, oh, them they talking like if government could hire everybody. Nobody is saying that. So don't make people come and fool you and distract you. Another very important initiative, and I see is a girl showing me the watch there. I'm going to give you the last one now. I will give you the last initiative, and on future occasions, we will continue to unveil the initiatives for developing East Kingstown. In the meantime, you can go to the East Kingstown website. We passed out a bunch of palm cards tonight. The website is on there. There's a QR code. For those of you who are technologically inclined, you can scan the QR code and it takes you directly to the East Kingstown website where you can find all of these initiatives and plans. But the last one I will mention tonight is the development of the Sion Hill Beach. You heard me talk about this before. Last election when I introduced it, they laugh and they carry on. But I'm telling you, the development of the Sion Hill Beach will be phenomenal. We are going to, the basic outline has already been done. There are 2 young men from Mallow Village who are engineers in the States. I've mentioned this before. And they're working on developing the initial ideas to take forward. The idea is to, right out by Nancy Rock, for those of you who know Sion Hill Beach, we're going to put a city fence there. Because you know the waves down, the seawater does be rough. We put in a city fence, of course, with all the environmental studies and assessments, so that we will create something like a big pool, kind of like out what you have out Waraku. Yeah? And then we are going to put a boardwalk from the Sion Hill Beach all the way around on the coastline to the tarmac, so you could exercise, you could ride your bike. That will also come with shops, restaurants, bars, you name it, proper facilities for change, and toilets, and most importantly, the water park. The water park will come. School just opened. I have must be about 200 godchildren. I'm godfather for so many children. And for the entire summer vacation, the kids are just home with nothing to do. You know that. They're home with nothing to do. The water park will create an alternative for them. Not to mention the benefits from tourism with the water park. So when we talk about economic development, and when we talk about the 4 pillars of our economy, and creating more and better paying jobs, and expanding our economy, and providing better infrastructure, and better health care, and a safer community, the 5 priorities of the NDP, that is what the East Kingstown constituency and your representative and your next member of government will do to develop this country. Let me finish by saying this. I'm going to finish by saying this. We need to focus on the bigger picture. And as I said before, don't be sidetracked on minor issues. Particularly my colleagues, I'm appealing to all of you publicly. All of us. Let us continue to be disciplined. Let us not get distracted by all of these other distractions. As I said before, everybody have their opinions. Everybody have their ideas. They may say things that may even be disrespectful in some regards. But let us not go down the same road. Let us not go down the same rabbit hole. We have to move forward together. But we can only move forward together if you, the people, realize the power that you have. And this representative and the New Democratic Party will put the power back into the hands of the people. Power to the people of East Kingstown. Power to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. East Kingstown, I want to thank you. I want to tell you how much I love you. I don't have to say it, you know it. And I want to tell you, make sure you register to vote. Make sure you go out and vote. I hear all these compliments, if I may call them. So, Bamble, you don't win. You don't have no opponent, this, that, yada, yada. And all of that feels good. But if you don't vote, Bamble can't win. The worst mistake you can make is to stay home and say Bramble don't win. East Kingstown now vote for nobody else but NDP. And if NDP bring a broomstick, we go vote for them. Well, you got to put your finger where your mouth is. Take your finger and mark the X and dip it in the ink for Fitzbramble and for the New Democratic Party. I love you. God bless you.
All right. In the essence of time, ladies and gentlemen, we will move straight into our next speaker. City Hall of Central Kingstown is here tonight. Please, all you welcome and make some noise and welcome Central Kingstown in the house, Vice President Major Sinclair Leacock.
Solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. My love, it's as solid as a rock. I can't stop.
Townhill, East Kingstown, good morning. Good morning, Brother Bramble. My friend and brother. Good morning again, Brother Bramble. See why the man said don't grumble? Just rumble. Now, you couldn't possibly expect me to give a speech here tonight when Dr. Friday is left to come after 11. So I'm going to be to the point. First of all, I'm here tonight to support my friend, brother, and colleague, Fitzbramble. In the process, let me recognize my president, Dr. Friday. I don't know, VP Chairman, VP Nature is still here. Daniel is still here. Jen Sek is still here. Lavon. All our executives. Everybody is still here. The yellow boards are still here. Sappy is still here. Dolita is still here. Central Kingston still here. Oh, they all watch me back. That's good. Now, I don't see two yellow board. You are angry again. Make all the van leave all, you know. Now, I had a couple of speeches to do tonight, and I tried to sort myself through them all. But here's where I'm at this moment. In 1951, that's a long, long time ago, we got adult suffrage in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That adult suffrage was to give us as a people the right to vote. Essentially, the right to have a say in that which was important to us as a people. That's 51. In 69, we started to climb out of the colonial period, and we had what was called statehood. That was intended to give us responsibility for our domestic affairs. In essence, nobody should tell us how to run our own St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 10 years later, in 79, we went one better. We got independence. Essentially saying we were going to stand on our own 2 feet. We won't take charge of our affairs. Give me some quiet, please. Give me some quiet, please. That competition is a little stiff. So I'm saying 79, we got independence to take responsibility for our own affairs, stand on our own 2 feet. Now, why do I say that to you? Let's fast forward to where we are here and now, 2025, Dr. Friday. Last week, we heard the acting Prime Minister, Dom Daniel, I can't even say the name properly. saying to a nation that we could not repair the schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines because we didn't get a loan from Saudi Arabia. I want you to think about that and throw in that. Look where Saudi Arabia is. Look where St. Vincent is. 2025. And we can't repair our schools because we didn't get a loan from Saudi Arabia. Can you imagine that? That's when you reach they have no sense of decency or self-respect as a nation state. You can't even fix your own goddamn schools. You want to depend on the so-called capitalist citadels of the world to do the most basic things for you. The schools that Joshua built, and Cater built, and Mitchell built, and you helped to develop. You now looking for Saudi Arabia to upkeep those same set schools. After 51, 69, 79, and where we are now. It tells you a hell of a lot of the successful failure that my good friends spoke about earlier tonight. You need no more evidence than that. But to be compelling, I bring your attention to the reality. 3-4 weeks ago, they came to the parliament. They wanted 98 point something, I call it $100 million to fix Beryl's disaster, for the port, and something else. You know, the government of St. Vincent didn't have $1 million to put up for themselves to do $100 million worth of work. And you asking for another 5 to 10 years of government to do what? Before that, the same Saudi Arabians were going to give them a drawdown of $48 million. And they said you can get the 48 if you bring 3. They went and borrowed the 3 to get the 48. Now just think. And Ralph and his sons have the audacity to asking for an extension of life for an overblown, expired, no good government. Give me a break. Give me a break. Now, I don't have to go on. It means that this election is different to all other elections that we've had. What's the difference? In 51, in 69, and 79, you are voting for yourselves, your own well-being, for a better quality of life for you as a person. In this 2025, you are voting, believe it or not, for your great-grandchildren. Not yourself. Not yourself. Not even for your grandchildren. Your great-grandchildren. You know why? Well, I nearly 100. So you know how much Ralph have to be? Huh? I mean, and he have his son telling you, look, I don't believe we should change. Keep daddy there. For we papa have more energy than we. A big hardback 50-something-year-old man telling you that his 80-something-year-old going 90 papa have more energy than he and the rest of the cabinet put together. Well, God help St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But that ain't what he want to set us up to believe, you know. And that's what we're going to close. Because this is what this election is about. It's Ralph's one last trick. He knows that he cannot present Camilo to lead the party into this election. He knows that. It's the first time he's going into an election without a deputy prime minister. No Gomery, no Straker, no Girling. So there's no deputy into this election. But he hopes that if he could get him by some magic, that he'll spend a year or two and slip in Carmelo in the back door. Because Carmelo became a solicitor general and he didn't know. He became an ambassador and he didn't know. But he came into the parliament and he became a minister of finance because he gave it to him. And now he wants to give him his final accolade, that of prime minister. Carmelo has been in a political party. He holds no post. Not president, not deputy, not chairman, not treasurer, not committee member. Nothing. But you want to be the first prime minister of a country, never ever having ran a political party. What the ass happened to St. Vincent and the Grenadines? We're deaf in one ear and blind in the other? That's what the election is about. I'm not talking about how to play the fluke. He knows that nobody in this constituency loves him. I don't like him either. He knows that. Not even Llewellyn getting him the key for open the office upside and all he knows up north they open up. Well, last he said to open up. So it's a simple decision. Very simple decision. Time for a change. Time for a new St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Time for people who can solve this country's problem. Time for the dream team. Time for a Dr. Friday. And time to make a sacrifice for your great-grandchildren, your grandchildren, and yourself. Time to be self-respecting. St. Vincent expects and deserves nothing better. Good night, thank you, God bless you, and love you.
Bring back the love. Bring back the community together. You know? We want the people as one. Friday!
Oh, yeah.
Bring back the love in
Yeah, you got to bring back the love. Yes, well, that was the major. The one and only, the major. Solid as a rock in central Kingston. Well, you know, the time is going. So we're going to bring on our final speaker for the night. They say lightning don't strike twice the same place. But in this election, lightning will strike twice the same place because it will be the second time St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be getting a prime minister from the Rock of Gibraltar. Back where in the Grenadines. Put your hands together. Welcome our next Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday.
All right. Well, we said the other night, when we have a good thing going, we have to keep it going. But we ain't going to go until the morning come. I want to thank all my colleagues for being here tonight at this wonderful meeting and lending support to a most outstanding candidate in Fitzbramble. I know because I used to teach him. I want also to acknowledge in the crowd here, and he's still late, our former representative, Marcus De Freitas and Mrs. De Freitas. They're here with us physically, but they're always working on behalf of our great party and our country. But they're always late, and we have had some outstanding presentations tonight. I don't have to traverse all that has been said. What I want us to take away and to keep in our head always until that fateful day when we have the opportunity to vote and to make a difference in this country is this. The reason that we want to bring a change in this country, that we have assembled a team of 15 persons to contest the elections. The best team ever. The Cork City Dream Team. I'll take that. The reason why I want to be your next Prime Minister. Your heart Fitz said it very eloquently. The reason he wants to be the representative, again, of the people of East Kingstown. It's not about finding a box to stand on. It's not about putting things, medals on our chest, or giving us names like boss and king. I ain't ruling anybody. Humble yourself. The reason that we do this is because we want to make life better for the people of this country. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. And every day that we talk about the things, the plans that we have for this country, for the people of the country, it's to bring that into being. I know the hardships that we're all feeling. There are people who are catching hell to send their children to school now that schools start back. People calling me and tell me the children didn't go to school today because they can't find shoes. There are people that go to the store and they can't buy the things that they used to buy because of the cost of living crisis. They can't pay the phone bill. They can't pay the light bill. The water cut off. We can do better than that. That is what motivates me. And so when we talk about the 4 pillars of the economy, it's about creating a thriving economy to help you to make life better. When we talk about the priorities that we have set, that is to create jobs, an economy that works for all of us, to have a healthcare system that we can trust, to have communities that are safe again from crime, and an infrastructure all over the country that you could walk without having to mash up your shoes or take them off and hold them in your hand to go to church. Fix the roads, the gutters, the drains, the bridges, the government building. Look, we're standing here, and you can see Kingstown. The night has covered up the filth and the dereliction that has become our city, our capital city in Kingstown. You look at Kingstown now. It's a shame to see what has happened. The drains are filthy. The buildings, they look like they are abandoned. The streets are potholed right in the busiest intersection. In Kingstown by the Juicy building, there is a big pothole. And they will want to tell you, is the opposition fault that you have a pothole in Kingstown? Come on. Come on. We know better than that. You've heard that from the speakers who have gone before us. But understand this. The ULP and Ralph, they cannot win. Steel and all kind of thing, laptop, scholarships, but you can pay for it after the election because it's your money. So what I say to people, whatever you get, use it properly. If you can't use it now because you need a piece of little land and you don't have it because you want Bill Ashanti, wait till I come. You're going to get that. This is your money that they are spending, and they're trying to use it to hoodwink and trick you. Don't let them get away with that. Then they will try to frighten people about the monster that is NDP and Dr. Friday. Do I look like a monster? I could frighten anybody. We are here trying to create a better life for all of us. I don't care who you vote for last time. What I care about is who you're going to vote for next time. I want you to vote for me. I want you to vote for Fitz. I want you to vote for the team that we've put together, because this is the most capable team ever, and it can hit the ground running the day after we have changed the government in this country. So, let us get the job done. And for all those people who think you could sit it out and let your parents do it, let somebody else do it, the risk is too great. If you want to change, do something about it. Don't sit back. The young people, I'm telling you, come with us. The future of this country is brighter under an NDP government. I give you that commitment. Help us to form a movement that is so irresistible that no matter what they do, they cannot stop the change from coming. The only way it will happen is if we all put our single votes together and create that force for change, that no matter what they do, they cannot stop it. And that is only the beginning. Because when we get that done, we then set to work to make life better for the people of this country. That is why I do this. This is not easy. You've heard of people talk about sacrifices they've made. I don't talk about sacrifices. I don't even talk about investment. I talk about this as an obligation, as a duty I have to the people of this country that I love so much. The opportunities I have been given from the limited resources that we have had here, I know I've been blessed. And I thank God every day for that. What I want to do is to give opportunities for the young people who are coming up, create jobs for them, training opportunities for them, and to help our local business people to be able to thrive. We can't have every project that we build. No, you had to bring all the workers in from Guatemala or from Dominican Republic or Colombia. What happened to we? You're saying you can't find trained people, skilled people here. Well, what the hell did you do for the last 25 years? Why didn't you put the mechanisms in place to make sure that those people are able to take the jobs that we have here? That's a failure of the present government. We cannot continue with that. We can do so much better. That is why I do what I do. That is why my colleagues are so committed to getting this done. And this is why we appeal to you. We need you. It's not about you have to do it. It's not about saying that you did and made a mistake the last time or whatever. You don't owe me a vote. What I'm saying to you is that together we can do something really great in this country. I am committed to helping the people of this country. Our government is going to be focused on people, not about projects. It's about trying to make life better for you, putting bread on your table, money in your pocket, shoes on your children's feet, fixing your roof when you leak. You don't have to come to a politician to do that. Since when you have to go to a politician because you have a leak in your roof? You're doing it now because people are destitute. They've been beaten down. We can do better. That is why we're here tonight. That is why we're going to be here. Not here, but in other places throughout the campaign. And that is why we are going to be in the communities, walking day after day, forming that unbreakable bond with the people that trust that is required to deliver good governance. I promise you that. God bless you and good night.
Got to vote them out, got to vote them out. Well, here, that was our leader. You notice no chest thumping or anything. He just speak to the reality, speak to the people, and let them know that he is committed, and it's his obligation to seek a better life for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let me thank all of us for being out here, all of you from Tongue Hill, from East Kingstown, and all the other places that you came from. Let me thank you on behalf of the representative and East Kingstown. On behalf of the New Democratic Party, let me thank you for being out here with us tonight. At this time, we're going to call on our candidates and those around who can help us sing to close off the meeting with the doxology, and then we will find our way home. So join us here, let us sing the doxology, and then we can find our way home as we bring the meeting to a close. And we have all the singers here who can sing. If you don't want to come on top, you can come right down here. All the singers who can sing, let us get the doxology.
Which that? You ready? I got you ready? You ready? You ready, I got? Praise God from whom all blessings